Up only.
10, 9, ignition sequence start. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. All engine running. Liftoff. We have a liftoff.
Up only.
Hello and welcome to Up Only TV. I'm Ledger. Cobie's back. Happy to have him. We're gonna have fun today. We got Loom and maybe some other friends from eGirl Capital on the way as well. First, I want to tell you about Blockfolio. Go to uponly.tv/Blockfolio. Make your first trade there today. If you've never done it before, you can start today. If you're ready to dollar cost average back in, you can do it. Connect your bank directly to Blockfolio through uponly.tv/Blockfolio. You can do it for zero fees when you trade directly from one asset to the other. And you can watch the value of your portfolio go down as you DCA in. It'll be fun, I promise. Let's all do it together. Thanks to Blockfolio for being here with us. Once again, I have lost the thing. Here we go. Cobie, welcome back,
Hi,
sir.
mate.
How are you?
It's been a while, hasn't it? What were the other shows like? Did you have a good time without me?
We had fun, but it's better with you. The audience told us so, and I think so too. I'm thrilled to have you back, and we have a strange blueberry character with us today as well.
Are you sure the audience wasn't just me on multiple accounts being like, "Where's Cobie? Oi,
That's
where is
possible.
he?"
That's completely
To make
possible.
it look like that people like watching me. It is possible. Loomdart has got a actual blueberry head on, and it's like actually pretty terrifying in my opinion.
It's the eyes; they just don't blink.
Yeah, it's pretty scary. I mean, overall, and the mouth's quite square.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's also a bit too black. Like maybe a tongue.
If you had a tongue, it might be a little better.
I think it'd be immensely worse, actually.
Yeah, I don't think it'd be good. I think it would be worse. It's a little bit like a character. Do you remember like Salad Fingers and Jerry Jackson from was it David Firth?
Ooh, yeah, Salad Fingers, the Rusty Spoons guy.
Yeah, it looks a little bit like a character from something like that.
Oh yeah, I could see that. It's the dead eyes. They
Your
need
voice,
two like
your
little
voice
dots.
fits perfectly with it.
So, Loom, you haven't even really been seeing your portfolio go down because it's all in completely illiquid NFTs anyway, right?
It was till we dumped, and then I bought like a bunch of Bitcoin 2 months ago.
Okay.
And I've just kind of, I had a few trades, but honestly, nothing much. Now I'm just chilling.
Yeah,
Watching it
what I
slowly
learned
bleed.
over the last couple of weeks is that when Cobie goes out of town, we can just stop looking at charts because nothing good's going to happen. The bid has left the building.
It's more like it's not often in crypto that the market gives you an opportunity to just ignore it, and when it does, you just have to accept them and say thank you. Like if it's just going to be really boring, there's no point sitting there staring at it because there's plenty of time to sit there and stare at it. So you just go, look, if the market's saying you can fuck off for a bit, then I'm 100% going to fuck off for a bit. Like, thank you very much.
Well, that was smart of you. I watched it pretty much every day.
But it doesn't move anywhere.
I know.
What's the point?
It was boring. I bought a couple of dips, won some, lost some, and came out. I don't know.
What do you mean, Ledger? You had some amazing DeFi little trades I saw.
Yeah, I had, but they were dangerous, to be honest. You know, like buying if you think ETH is not going to die, go try to snag some like stronger DeFi coins. You had to play them pretty tight, so I had to pay attention to the market a lot. Whereas Cobie had a lot more fun doing nothing, you know?
I did see one of your tweets. It said something like, I'm going to fade this daily open or something, and then you immediately got wrecked. I know you were going to scalp the daily
I was
open.
gonna scalp
and
the
you
daily
just-
open, then immediately lost like $50 per Ethereum or something. It's like, well, that was enough of that.
Yeah, I saw that. I liked it. But other than that, I didn't tune in too much. The only thing I know is that Cryptopathic keeps telling me his NFTs are going up.
Yeah.
Every single day is like NFTs are going crazy out. Like all my NFTs are up, and I'm like, cool. I'm happy for you. That's so good for you. I love that for you. That's so good for you. I don't really have anything else to say to it. I'm not buying NFTs again, Path. You're not making me do it again.
Well, what I found funny is that like some of them went up, as in like maybe to like 20% of their mint price. Like the Beacon punks are like mooning off of the floor to.
Yeah, but you bought late, didn't you?
Yeah, I bought the ones that were like, I don't know, 0.3 ETH or 0.5 ETH. And it's like they mooned to 0.2.
I think I bought them at 0.1, so I'm
Okay,
actually
so you're
probably
in
fine there.
profit.
But I got 2 hoodies. You know, there's like the ones with the hoodies up.
Oh, yeah.
And they're like going crazy. One of them just sold for 13 ETH and got sent to Vitalik.eth.
Oh,
So
wow.
maybe Vitalik's buying. Either someone bought and sent it to Vitalik, or Vitalik has an additional ENS domain called god.eth, because that's the person who bought it.
That's a good ENS domain. It's still worth nothing, I've learned from owning ENS domains, but it's a fun one.
Yeah. So for this show, I need to know what's happened. So can you two could just like catch me up on what I've missed, like what's been going on. We could just do the round, like a set of topics. Maybe chat can suggest some topics, and we just like what's going on, what's happened, what's Loomdart's opinion on everything.
Yeah, why don't we start with NFTs since you brought it up, and there's the resurgence.
Oh God.
There's a little bit of that resurgence going on. Well, there's like Axie Infinity's mooning. I don't even know anything about it. But other NFTs are doing pretty well too. Loom, do you want to give us the rundown of the NFT landscape right now?
I mean, honestly, I don't really know much about Axies. Just that it's basically increased the GDP of the Philippines by like a non-insubstantial amount, which I mean is dope. But yeah, I mean, the thing with NFTs is, I feel like everyone who foresaw the dump was like, yes, sweet, let me sell my NFTs first, because like these things are obviously going to get hammered.
Yeah.
So the only guys left in them were just like either the pure non-believers who would never sell, and then just the guys who don't know how to sell. So like, since no one's selling, if one guy wants to buy, like the price has to go up.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's my initial NFT feed.
I think
anyway.
Keyboard Monkey's in on NFTs for like the 17th time. I think he was buying. I saw some NFT room that was talking about like how thankful they were for Keyboard Monkey being the bid on their art.
He can't stop. I think he's got problems. Like someone needs to buy him a therapist, and ideally, just someone just to talk him off the ledge, like an addiction therapist, something like that. That'd be good.
Men
Just
will
someone
literally
that
spend
specializes in
6 figures
NFTs.
on NFTs instead of going to therapy.
Yeah, I mean, what I like about NFT is what I think is funny. Well, I maybe don't like. I think it's funny, but I'm a well seasoned shitcoin trader. You know, I've done 4 cycles, 5 cycles. I don't know, all blurs into one, and I've learned the basics. I didn't learn anything beyond the basics because I can't store too much information up here. It gets confusing. I just like to stick with the basics. But I learned the basics, and when shitcoins are pumping, or when ETH is pumping, or Bitcoin's pumping, or whatever, I know that when it's going parabolic and everyone's talking about it, that's the top. Maybe it's a local top, maybe it's the absolute top. I know that. I know that. Intellectually, I know that for the majority of assets, especially for crypto stuff when it goes parabolic. But with NFTs, when everyone's talking about it, I'm like, ooh, this is exciting. Maybe I should buy one of those. And it's like, buy the absolute top every single time. Every single time. It's like, as soon as it's frothy and FOMO-y, I intellectually know this is the point where you're supposed to sell, not buy. But every time I'm like, what about the one with the cape? Maybe I should get the one with the cape.
I don't know. It's been interesting because so Axie Infinity stuff, that video came out. Loom, did you see that? That must be where you brought up the Philippines thing. There were like 5 or 6 people playing Axie Infinity on a dozen screens or something.
Oh, the bot accounts. Yeah, I mean, it's an inevitability with a bunch of things, unfortunately.
Yeah.
But they've done some fairly decent steps to like moderate it a bit, at least.
I saw that you could make something like $60 a day playing Axie Infinity, if you're like you just like run around the map and do the tasks, whatever, you have to buy 3 Axies to play, so it's still like 0.1 ETH per Axie or something. I don't know, they're birthed. Something, or what do they call them? They're like spawned. 2 Axies have to make love, and then a new Axie is brought into the world for 0.1
This is
ETH.
Boomer's explain Axies. Boomer Ledger, Boomer that's never played Axie tries to explain what Axies is to 2 people that don't care.
So it's pretty expensive, $600 or whatever to get started, but then you can earn like $60 a day doing the play to earn thing. And I saw that they cleared like $1 million in revenue in one day, like the protocol itself did. And there were hundreds of thousands of people playing it, or bots playing it, whichever one. So it went pretty ham. My question is like, what's the follow-on play, right? Like, isn't this just like anything else? If Ripple Moon's, Stellar follows, what's the follow-on?
Wasn't it sand? What's sand? I heard a lot of people talking about sand.
I don't know. I ignored it because it was probably the follow-on move that was easy profit that I ignored. Do you know what
I think that's what it was, but I don't know what it is.
Sand.
I unfortunately do not know what sand is.
Do you reckon it's called sand? Actual sand is called sand because it's between the sea and the land.
Wow, no, I had no. Wait, is this just a theory
Sand,
of yours? Because
sea and land. What?
That's just what sand is, isn't it? Someone went, sea, land, what's this shit? Sand. It's fucking, let's call it sand.
this is mind melting to me right now, Cobie. I didn't know this.
Oh, no. I mean, I don't know if that's true. I don't know who came up with sand.
I like it.
Someone else.
I like it. See,
I know Rookie talked about sand at 40 cents. That
What
was
is it
pretty
now?
cool. Gosh, I think 60 cents.
Oh, okay. So
The thing is, this always happens. Guys are like, oh yeah, buy the follow-on play. And then Axie just doubles again. And goes up like 10%. And this has happened so many times.
yeah,
I think Hosaka and Moon Overlord had some good tweets about it. But of course, Hosaka had good tweets. He always does.
Do you think though, Loom, that's like born from the good old days where like buying the like sort of mimetic play was actually superior because every project was vapor, so you were really just like buying a parabolic asset and it just had a name, whereas now Axie's has a product that people are actually using, so like the good stuff goes up because it's winning rather than just going, oh fuck, there's a game, we need another game. Because like Kitty Coin, that went up because Dog Coin went up. And it didn't happen this time around. So this time around, other dog coins went up.
No, I think you raise a fairly good point. It's the kind of what happens is it ends up being where like traders sell their coins to more like institutional guys who like actually look at the numbers and they're just like, well, this is making this much money, nothing else is. I mean, it's up 20% today, but the rest of this stuff doesn't do anything. While the traders are like, wow, this is up 20%, this is up like 5%. This is clearly going to be up 20% the next day, and the thing that was up 20% is like just going to disappear maybe.
yeah. Axie's looks like it's done on the daily chart though. Like it broke out from like $4 and it's at 24, but it just has this spike up to almost $30. So it's $6 off the high already.
Ledger, don't start a war with the Axie people. Look, you've started enough wars on
guess
this
you're
channel.
unironically fighting a nation at this point, so
You can start a world war.
Just me versus every crypto community that moons, and I'm salty about it.
Yeah, I mean, I'm salty about it because I had a chat to Joe from Axie like maybe a year ago, I can't remember, and Path told me to buy like land at the same time he was buying land. Path like unironically made it all back in one NFT. He like made it all back in one trade. It was just his land has gone like totally nuts.
Wait, land? Is this land for Axie?
Yeah, like Genesis land or something.
Wow.
I think he's made like 1,000 ETH on it or something.
That's
Good lad.
Used to be more, but now it's still a lot.
All right, so maybe I should. Maybe I'm gonna play $60 a day. Did you say? That's pretty good.
$60.
I ain't got a job, so like, look, if you do $60 a day, yeah, and then just send it straight to Binance and put it in a 100x trade, like one day you got to hit a winner, aren't you? Like one day you can't hit like 100 losers in a row. It's just flipping a coin.
This is why leverage is banned in China.
Yeah.
Look, it's just like flipping a coin. So all you got to do to be a millionaire, right, is you got to take $60 from Axie. You got to send it to Binance. You got to 100x leverage it, and then when you hit a winner, you put it on one side, and if you lose, fuck it, never mind. But you've only got to use your $60, and like you put it in the piggy bank, sorted, and then you just play another day of Axie. It can't be much different to my current life, which is playing League of Legends every day for free.
Yeah, you don't make anything.
So what's the difference? All right, there we go. New crypto strategy. We should make a Yearn vault around this or something.
Can you do that?
Probably not.
So you bring up Yearn, talk about DeFi. There's a lot of governance conversations going around, Cobie. I think you may have put forth the most popular governance proposal in all DeFi history. Can you tell us about it?
Yeah, it's the third most popular proposal on the Uniswap forum ever. No, not proposal, post. The third most popular post ever.
Oh, yeah, because you have to have like $500 million worth of Uniswap to actually make a proposal, right? Like you can just make a blog post.
Someone did that though. Now someone's made a snapshot vote, but everyone's voting against it. They didn't write on the proposal though. That doesn't seem very fair, does it? You would expect them to voice their complaint, so I can amend my proposal into something more something that appeases everyone. Although I think as it is, it's a pretty good proposal. I'm like, look, I got this like fucking ponytail thing going on, so I actually need a haircut. And if this proposal doesn't pass, what am I going to do? But I mean, it was funny. Like, it's the first thing I kind of saw when I started looking at the internet a bit more again and started looking at crypto, was that a DeFi education fund had been awarded $20 million of Uni token, and they'd immediately sold half on day one, despite saying it's going to be issued over like 4 to 5 years. So there was just this Twitter account that's got like an egg profile picture. It doesn't have a header. They've put no effort into it. It's got 2 tweets. One is from a week ago saying we're hiring, and the next one just says, thank you, we have dumped $10 million of Uni. Like, we will provide more information in the future. And like, if you actually look into it, like, it doesn't seem the end of the world. It seems a bit dodgy how it's passed through. There's like a bunch of potential cronyism happening, or behind the scenes governance rather than actual like transparent, what people want DAOs to be, I guess. But what they've actually funded doesn't seem that bad. Like, they're just spending $20 million to lobby US regulators and try and teach politicians how DeFi works and like try and get better outcomes for the industry, which seems like a decent usage of money. Like, cool, go for it. But they just kind of knew that they had the votes, and didn't give a shit. So it was like, we're going to do this. Yeah, we're going to do this. And loads of people went, that doesn't seem good for these reasons. And they went, vote against it then. We've got all the votes we need. And then they like voted yes on their own proposal. Like, I proposed to give myself $20 million, and then you take your money and vote yes immediately. That's the DeFi I believe in. Voting to give yourself money. That's what DAOs were created for.
Yeah.
Honestly, I was kind of for, like, there's way worse ways to spend your money. And obviously, I'm not really a uni holder, so this is a net positive for me. I'm not sure if it's a net positive for uni holders, but like, holistically, it's not a bad thing. It's just the freaking follow-up statement they made about why they did what they did was so bad. Like, their whole thesis for selling 50% immediately was that we needed to move fast. Like,
yeah, but they're just trying to avoid saying we think the price is going to go down.
Like, man, all they had to do was not tweet, or at least put a profile picture on, then tweet.
I didn't even realize it was for lobbying. I thought it was literally for like educating users, and I was like, what did they need $20 million to like write blog posts about DeFi for? So it's actually for lobbying. Do they know who the money is going to? Is it, like in the chat, don't mind me asking, are like they're professional lobbyists or something that are in?
No, they haven't hired anyone yet. They've just got all the lawyers from all the big DeFi protocols like Rebecca and Mark from Aave and DYDX and shit, who are actually very good at their job and like very talented lawyers. They're running a committee and they're going to hire some people, I guess. I've applied for the job because I thought, why not? Well, I thought, why not, right? Because you get put in charge of this fund. You get put in charge of this fund, don't you? And the fund's got no accountability to anyone. They just raised money from Uniswap with a forum post, and they just gave them 20 million, and now it doesn't matter what happens with it. But we've promised that it'll be spent on lobbying, but no one can actually make sure it's spent on lobbying. So if I get the job, I'm going to spend it on drugs. That's my plan. But I don't think they're going to give me the job. I've got a fake name and stuff, and I've done a fake CV, and I thought if I do get the job, that's their fault, innit? That's their fault that the money gets wasted. Yeah, it's not my fault.
You can show up on the Zoom calls just like Loom is right now. You know, just wear an avatar and you're good to go. So have they said specifically like what their timeline is to spend money, or is this just all this incredible?
They're supposed to be spending like 4 or 5 million a year, I think.
Okay.
Which is like 5x the Coin Center.
Yeah, their budget, the Coin Center budget is like under 2 million, I think, and they do enormous amounts of actual good. You know what I find interesting about the Uniswap token is it doesn't have currently, to my knowledge, like fees go back to like token value accrual or whatever. So like the governance is the only thing that the token's really used for right now, but the governance is a joke because there's like 3 people that can control any vote. So what is the point of the Uniswap token at the moment? Like, why is it
Ledger,
it is?
You're asking some risky questions here, brother. I think for the sake of the industry.
Well, what's the
it's the hope for future value accrual, right? There's hope that maybe sometime in the future Uni decides to.
But isn't it a generous valuation relative to, say, sushi, which already has perhaps like fair governance and token value accrual today for its token?
Yeah, but one's named after a unicorn and one's named after a food. So think about it. Like, which do you think's more valuable? A unicorn, which is rare and mystical, or food that you can get like fucking anywhere?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, you mentioned sushi governance, but they're basically having a very similar debacle right now.
Yeah, didn't they raise a bunch of money from like every VC in crypto?
I think they're on the path to raise 50 million or 60 million.
Yeah, it was a proposal.
But the way they're going to do it is basically a 30-day rolling time-weighted average price. And like a few of the funds have been selling sushi like a few hours before the idea. Well, I mean, it makes sense, right? Like, if you selling lowers the price, it means you get a better deal.
Yeah.
Because it's all at a 30% discount.
Yeah.
30% discount. How long is it locked up for? Or not all?
So their argument is if they were locked, since the coins are locked, they're kind of giving up some form of yield. Let me find it. But I think it was 1.5 years. Let me double check.
1.5 years for 30% is pretty good. I think industry standards fallen on like 10% per year ish. So I don't think that's too bad.
I think people are just angry the price is down, and so
Yeah, although I do think a pretty good scam is established projects letting their investors do a follow-on round where, like, let's say you've invested in, and I'm not going to name any names, so I'll just make a name up, like Balana, right? So let's say,
exactly
let's just invent a new coin like Balana. So let's say you invested in Balana a few years ago, and then, all your shit's vested, it's liquid, you're holding it. And Balana, which is a fictional coin that I've made up, not related to anything that might sound similar like Ethereum or Cardano or whatever, Balana is fictional. Then they do another raise and they go, right, well, you can lock up your shit for 4 years and you'll get minus 40% or whatever. So you just sell half of your Solana, or you sell all your Solana. Balana, fuck. You sell all your Balana, right? And then you buy it all back with 40% off, and you just like get half your money. So you get like your Solana back. You get to force hold, and you got half your money, and that's like quite a good scam, I think. Like it's not a scam, but it's a scam. You know what I mean? Like, they need to raise money. You want to get some liquidity, but you don't really want to sell because you don't want to sell the bottom and then be laughing when Balana's to the moon. So you just get your Balana back and half your money back, and that's a great deal.
It's a great.
That's
deal.
a great
I
fucking
wonder
deal.
how you can mark it down in your books, since you have more Balana than you did to start with, but it's locked. But
No,
like,
you have the same amount of Balana, but you sell your liquid Balana first.
I reckon just mark it down like a gift from
dangerous.
Balana. Gift from Balana, like it was a USD grant directly from Balana.
Yeah.
Wait, what taxes do you have to pay on like a Uniswap grant? What does that count as?
I don't know. I imagine it's income-esque, but maybe it depends on who the entity receiving it is. Like if it's a nonprofit or an individual, can get.
Do you reckon you can just call yourself a non-profit, or do you don't think that'll work?
No, at least for the U.S., like you need a 501c3 or a 501c4. I think is what like a political action committee might be under. So there's some things like that you can do that are interesting.
Gainsey applied to be a non-profit, and they were like, "Don't take the piss." But then they looked at his trades, and they were like, "Yeah, go on then." Yeah, yeah, fair enough.
Theoretically, in this Balana situation, it seems like you could mitigate it by, instead of locking only the new tokens, if you have a repeat investor, perhaps they agree to lock their already vested tokens, but it might be harder to get people to reinvest in that scenario. But it seems like that might be a bit more fair for retail.
Wait, think about it. Like you might even, in a way, you're buying your own Balana back for half price. That's it.
Yeah.
Like it could be the exact same coins. They just give you some money. What a great deal.
Yeah, sure.
In
In the scenario that you described, that not that we're aware of any token doing that, that's what happens basically. They get their same tokens back for half off.
But it's not just Balana, right? Like that's what everyone's doing now. Because if you're an established coin and in your treasury you've got your own token, and you've been through enough cycles such that you have vested investors with liquid shit. Ugh, liquid shit. I didn't mean like liquid shit. Like liquid tokens or liquid coins or whatever.
I mean, they both get dumped at the same rate.
Yeah.
See, yeah, it's almost as if the venture capitalists in the space have a strategic advantage that no regular person could possibly match. I don't know. And it's great.
Although
like the PR is so great because you can just say, look, we have this new strategic investment from these top investors. We're definitely not dumping on retail. Now, they might be dumping on retail, but we are definitely not dumping on retail.
Yeah.
Oh boy.
Although, like raising from VCs also feels like in many ways a bit of a better gig than raising from retail, because when you raise from retail, it's like you've cursed yourself in a way. It's like you've opted in to have a zoo follow you around for the next few years of your life. Like a zoo that is 50% made up of like zoo animals, but also 50% made up of toddlers, and they're just going to follow you around for the next few years and like ask dumb questions. Whereas like you raise from VCs, they get it, right? It's their business. So it's like things go down, things like it's a hard year, they'll probably give you some support instead of like trying to dox your grandma or something.
Yeah, I mean, that's a common thing in sales too, right? Like you could have a product, and the way some things work is if you make them rare, exclusive, whatever, and you price them at $100, you might get 10% of the sales versus if you price them at $10. You end up with the same revenue. You just have more people to deal with when you sell them for $10. So selling to retail has the same problem. It's just a lot more people to deal with, a lot more investors that feel entitled to have an opinion about what you're doing. But
I mean, the thing is, like, you say VC, but there's so many different types of people that kind of come under that banner.
yeah, like you're a VC. eGirl Capital is a venture capitalist organization, right?
Yeah, I'd say that's correct. I mean, like, but it's such a. I think basically in crypto, any form of investment vehicle is just considered a VC. Because, like, we have no idea what to name this shit. Like, it's just a very easy kind of placeholder term. And
Yeah.
then, obviously, in typical kind of social fashion, the bad stuff kind of swims to the top.
It's a lot of fun.
Yeah, like Moonrock Capital or whatever it's called.
Oh boy.
Is that
Yeah.
real?
I mean,
Yeah, they're the people behind like Pokemon or whatever. Not Pokemon like the cool video game. Pokemon the token that just went to zero.
Pokemon.
Yeah.
Interesting. All right, so Loom, you said that someone's ready to join us. So when they are ready to do so, just let me know, and I'll change the screen.
Who's joining?
I sent Ciel the link now. He should be in soon.
All right, well, I'll just change the link so that we can all cope over the Axies chart so that I can then rebuild our scene while he's doing that. But
Has I got a question about Axies, and maybe someone in chat will know because I know that none of you guys know anything about crypto. But has the token outperformed the like rare items? Like, if you could go back in time, would it have been more profitable to buy the Axies token directly, or would it have been more profitable to like do some work, figure out what the rare items are, pick them up?
so basically, we're just asking the chat to tell us this. Like, we're on the show, and then like, chat, could you please tell us how this works?
Because if the tokens have outperformed, that's like kind of a scam, right? Because it means you don't have to do anything. You just like buy the token and never have to do any work. I would prefer it if a rare type of Axie or a rare type of, I don't know what's in Axies, like animal, rare type of tool or like land, fuck knows what they do, like a rare type of, are they called Axies? Is it an Axie? Is that like an animal thing? But if one of those is outperformed, that would be better.
Yeah, we're hilariously ill-equipped for this conversation.
I'd like to
All right,
see what Axie's short liquidations have been like on the way up.
Oh, they have to be extreme.
Because I feel like whenever something goes up while everything goes down, instead of like shorting the stuff going down, the immediate thing is like, damn, this thing is up so much. That means it's going to be able to go down that much. And it's like this happens every time we move up and down, like on some type of macro level, where there's always like a few coins that just absolutely destroy everyone who's been trying to short it.
Yeah, I think it's like, I think these moves catch people out. Like when you see Axie basically at all-time highs, you don't want to long because everything else looks so tragic, and you're like, oh, it's just like a great bull trap. And then when it breaks all-time high and like pumps, you're like, I don't want to buy now because I'm late. But then it doubles again, and then you're like, then you start considering like, maybe I'm like missing out. Maybe I need to stop buying this stuff.
You know, just buy the top.
Yeah.
Probably you just buy the top. CL, are you going to turn your videos on? Or are you figuring out your situation here? What's the deal?
Never mind. Yeah, I'll do no video because I just woke up and I can't figure out why the model is glitching.
Well, now you.
We want a cat. When cat?
We need a cat, and I already started doing it, so you have to turn your video on now. All my work.
Like even if it's a glitchy cat, that's fine. That'll be funny.
The
like,
chat's.
This is not a professional stream.
The chat's really upset looking at this Axie chart because none of them bought it. So like they really need me to put the main video back on. So if you could just help us cope a little bit.
I'll launch face rig one sec.
There you go.
Oh, do you use face rig?
I don't know what that means.
Yeah, it's just a software that tracks your that turns your actual. No, actually, I'm a cat. JK.
I agree, bruv. I agree 100%. And I'm here for you.
Wait, where is the thing?
So are both of y'all part of eGirl Capital? What is the corporate structure for such a finely named institution?
Ooh, we are all equal egos.
Equal e-girls.
Yeah.
That's good.
Miami was very fun because I'd be DMing people like, "Hey guys, come over. Me and a bunch of e-girls are here." And then it's like, not like that, bruv. I mean, like partners at eGirl Capital. Yeah, I mean some interesting combos.
We'll see how I put you on. It's very off center, so we'll just deal with it.
Oh, there we go.
So welcome, the cat. How you doing?
Pretty good. Actually, I don't even know if this thing's tracking me right now.
It's not.
Because
You can just leave it like that. Just leave it like that. I'll play with it and move it around a bit.
Wait. Now say something. Now I've got you back. Oh wait, no, you've gone really far away again. Oh.
It's like them SCP that like the second you don't look at it, it like kills you. Sort of teleport towards me.
It's fine.
So chat told me that Mystics outperformed the token, which basically outperformed everything else. So like just being lazy works. Just be lazy. Buy the lazy shit. Works out fine apparently.
So you just had to buy the characters.
No, the Mystics are like the rare characters. I think it's like the rarest shit maybe. But you just get buy the token if you're like apparently want exposure. That sucks a little bit though. I prefer it when you have to do some work to make money. But yeah.
Yeah, well, you do have to do work if you play the game, and then you can make $60 a day, spending like 12 hours a day clicking buttons inside the game. I mean, that's like $5 an hour. That's pretty good money.
How is the token related? How is the token related to the game?
I don't know. You're asking me difficult questions. CL, do you know?
No. What do you mean?
So we don't know anything about Axie. Is the point?
All right,
I do know
breeding. You need it for breeding, according to the chat. The chat knows.
Yeah.
You need it for breeding.
It's pretty cool because like we haven't had guilds for like thousands of years,
and
now you can join an Axie's guild.
Oh, so it's a good Ponzi. If it's the currency of the marketplace, then everything in the marketplace gets more expensive as the token goes up.
Oh yeah. I think my land's up almost X 1000 now.
What? You made 1000x on the land?
Oh, I need to check again, but I lost my wallet, so I don't really want to check it every day.
Wait, you gotta tell us about this.
Oh no, because they made you migrate to. I don't even know what's this wallet's like pronounced. Is it called Ronin or what? But yeah,
Give me Ronin.
Ronin. Okay, I just lost it.
Do you want to?
Someone in chat said. Someone in chat just said this entire stream is basically 4 people saying, "Do you know what's going on?" No, you.
Do you actually? Are you willing to admit how much money you've lost in this wallet?
No, it's not that much. I spent like only a few $100 or something at most. So it was now probably like 30 or 50 grand. I don't know, something like that. Yeah, it's not too bad. I'm not coping yet.
Yeah.
Unless it like X10 again, then maybe I'll cope pretty hard.
So I saw when I got back from the mountains that Suzu is now full bear. Like full bear. I'm guessing net short. Like the world is gonna end level bear.
Yeah. Has he? They still have their ETH and Lido though, don't they? So like they would have had to hedge that.
Yeah.
Yeah, but they probably
they would have had to hedge it. I reckon they've got enough money to hedge that sufficiently though.
Yeah. I was listening to Sue talking on that DYDX Spaces last night, and he sounded like his whole voice changed. He's like the super cycle, the end of the super cycle. It's like he was sad about it, you know, like. I don't know, but is it, Cobie, do you think it's the end of the super cycle, or is it just like the lows of the doldrums of the super cycle?
Honestly, being sad about it like makes sense because like shorts only have linear returns, don't they? So
yeah, you can only make whatever 100%.
Yeah, so like they're just not like they're just not ambitious.
Yeah.
Like that's why it's better to be a bull, because like you know you want to make 1,000,000%. Like making 100% is boring. They're not ambitious. They need to like they need to dream bigger. Although oil went negative once, so
Yeah, they made more than 100%.
yeah. So
Has there ever been any like stories of guys who? Because obviously you had to go and pick the oil up.
Yeah, the people with the finished contracts.
Have there been any horror stories? Be pretty cool.
Yeah, there's like the physical delivery of those contracts that I'm sure eventually those end up settling on people that like actually need oil. But that was why they went negative. There was nowhere to put it and all that. But I think we're
Bitcoin
due
solves this.
I think we're due for a retest for oil. Like just it doesn't have to go negative, but it can go back to zero. Be a good double bottom.
Ether's digital oil, says chat.
Yeah.
Negative price.
Also going negative. That's actually the trick of 1559. Like somehow it's gonna have a bug in it, and it won't burn. It'll just it'll invert it and just infinitely mint every block instead.
Yeah. Bitcoin did that once. You remember there was an inflation bug? It was ages ago.
Gosh, I don't remember that.
It was ages ago. There was like not really
Like
a prohibition to it.
12?
I think maybe even earlier. I can't remember.
That's why when I see
It was very beginning.
did Bitcoin go
For me.
down from that? You remember the you see the stats of like uptime for Bitcoin, and they're always like 99.9 or whatever. And I'm like, what was the 0.1% time where Bitcoin was down? Like, does anybody in modern Bitcoin era is able to identify downtime?
I don't know. I don't care about that stuff, dude. I just care if the price is going up. Like, who cares if the technology works? If you think like, if the price is going up, everyone's happy, aren't they?
Yeah, that's why we really got screwed in the cycle, because like IOTA was down for like 3 months in 2017 and quadrupled or something during that time.
Yeah, that's bullish though. If the blockchain don't work, it's bullish because no one can send their coins to the exchange to sell.
Yeah.
So it's basically a temporary supply reduction.
Yeah, you knew a Bittrex coin was going to pump when the wallets were broken. If you
Yeah,
didn't have them on exchange already, then you were screwed.
That was the Yobit special. Like they take the wallets off themselves, and then just be like, "Alright, sweet, let's send this up like 50,000x." Well, I missed that exchange. They everything that happened in 2021, Yobit had pioneered in like 2016. Those guys.
Yobit or Bryce Weiner.
Oh gosh.
Wait, how is he involved in that?
Cursed.
He's still around.
Yeah, I know. He started dissing me the other day. Started sending me insults about donating to streamers, saying that I should have donated all the money myself rather than having working class people donate as well, or something. I always find it interesting when people want to go the line of attack, and there's a lot of there's a lot of things you can use to attack me because I'm not a perfect person. Most people aren't, but often when you use like giving people free money, like you did these raids and gave like struggling musicians free money, but you didn't do it in the right way, I always go, that's not the one I would have opened with. I would have gone with a knife and I would have twisted it, but not started with like reminding people that you donated money to people once. But yeah, he's still about. But he pioneered everything. He said we were going to have ASIC toasters, and then guess what? Once there was a design for an ASIC toaster, no one bought one.
I think it was a Litecoin one.
What is an ASIC toaster?
He did this speech in like 2013 or 2014 saying like ASIC people are going to have ASICs in their toasters, and everyone mocked him for it and said that like it sounded like a bad idea. But then in like 2016 or 2017 there was this like blueprint for an ASIC with a toaster in it, and he said redemption. I was right.
Nice.
Oh no. I think it was a router that could also mine Litecoin is what I was thinking of, because yeah, you want your one connection to the internet to also mine crypto so it can get really, really hot and just nuke.
Good use of the thing that you need to be up all the time. So, Cobie, you brought up the state of the market, Suzu bearish. I mean, I guess we should talk about the market a little bit, right?
Yeah, I mean, I hadn't looked at it properly, really. It's like full sideways, boring shit. Like, if you actually look at Bitcoin and say, when was the last time this was tradable? When was the last time this was, like, in any way useful and fun to trade for actual, like, human beings that, you know, maybe not expert traders? It was so long ago. It's been doing nothing for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 weeks. Before that, it was just nuked for 2 weeks and killed everybody. And then it did nothing for the previous 9 weeks. It's like it's been doing nothing for so long. I mean,
it actually made that low.
ETH isn't.
Yeah, it made that low 58 days ago now.
How boring's that?
Yeah, so it hasn't made a new low, but like at the same time, it's, you know, if you were like to draw a line just kind of through the average midpoint of a candle, it has been going down like that. You know, it kind of rebounded into the 37, 38 zone, and now it's, you know, dinking around at 32 or so. It looks quite
What's
heavy.
the daily inflation? What's the daily inflation at these rates? Is it like 30 million a day, 50 million a day?
I don't know. I can't count that well.
I think, let's say it's like 50 million a day in new supply. That's not too bad given the like market cap, but like it's literally every day. It don't stop. A non-moving market can't absorb that forever. So like a slight downwards angle makes sense to me. And there isn't too much like flows coming into Bitcoin
Well,
from what I've seen.
Wouldn't it be the opposite? Like hash rate's down so much, difficulty went down. I saw that the profit on average per miner is up quite a bit because all the hash rate came out of China. So if they can continue to dump and be like 2x profitable or whatever at these numbers, then that's, I don't know, it's not great for Bitcoin, at least in the near term. Do y'all think the hash rate leaving China overall is bullish, like it's decentralizing mining, or do you think that's cope? Is that just cope?
I think it's long-term bullish, but I don't think it's short-term bullish.
I mean, there's no other kind of group in crypto who have just completely destroyed the price than the Chinese miners. Like these guys have, I don't know what it is, but the amount of financial sense they have is like negative. Like it's no freaking December 2018 when we fell down from like 6K to 4K. Not only were they hedging the coins they were mining on futures, they were hedging any future coins they would mine for like months out. Like they were basically short selling coins they didn't own, and then kind of hoping that the price would keep going down.
And that was at like
because
3K or 4K?
Yeah, there was a few articles on it, just like in the general news, kind of miners so bearish. But I mean, no, these they have interesting financial ideas. And so when BAC launched back in, was that 2019, and we fell from like 10K to 8K.
Yeah,
That was basically a big chunk of miners who had like used their Bitcoin holdings as leveraged collateral to like buy more miners, just getting mass liquidated.
Cobie, this tweet's hilarious. Shout out
Which
to
tweet?
Crypto Wreck, the one that you retweeted. Do you know what's going on? No, you. Did you bought though? Yes, I'm up 1,000x. Cool, and cash out. Well, I lost the wallet. We're struggling over here on up only. It's tough times. It's summer doldrums. That's why Cobie went on vacation.
Well, I like it when I get to go away and the market doesn't do anything.
Yeah, you come back and feel vindicated.
Yeah, I mean, it feels nice. You don't have to stress out about it. You don't have to worry. You don't have to think, I'm going to miss out like the fun bit. Just go sideways. It's fine. I mean, like, I don't really understand where we go from here, because if Bitcoin dumps from here, it's not going to look good. The chart will look like some of the worst it's ever looked, I think. And I don't really see how we go up anytime soon, but you know, I haven't been paying attention, so maybe there's something I'm missing.
I have a good chart for what could happen here, Cobie. And basically the chart
up or
says
down?
it could go up or down. Yeah, it's like
What's some banana?
yeah, it's a
It's a Cobie canoe.
a Cobie canoe. Yeah, Godson. We have an agreement that I'm allowed to use the banana when I'm extra coping, like seeking imminent, blow off to the downside or upside. I'm allowed to put his curved lines on my charts.
Doesn't ETH look a bit like it did when it first dumped from like 400 to 180 in 2017?
Yes.
Early 2017.
Yes, that is definitely the the
That's the
bullish
bull hopium.
Yeah, the hopium.
Yeah. Yeah,
Man,
I mean,
everyone's
zooming out didn't make it
fair.
look good. Zooming out made it look better. It made it look much worse.
Yeah. When you
Normally, isn't zoom out supposed to be what you say when you're bullish?
yeah. It's really horrendous.
Zoom out, it just made me realise how high it is. Shit.
Yeah, if you, I think these are weekly lines or something. I don't know. This was a kind of a go-to example for just long-term consolidation. And
You guys want to know the worst thing?
yeah,
They removed M2 on TradingView, so you can't even divide by the money supply to cope.
that was a good meme.
That's what I did for all of 2020. I was like, guys, we're not that high up. Like, look how much money was printed.
Yeah, we can still
That's
go
quite
higher
fun.
because the money's been printing. But yeah,
Yeah,
if you
but
just this looks like it's over too, and the fact that it did what it did was pretty incredible. But didn't Bitcoin go up pretty much during this entire time that that ETH was consolidating? So the fact that Bitcoin's getting wrecked at the moment doesn't really help this case very much. But it's good hopium. I like it. I'm willing to embrace it.
You know
It's
what?
alright,
I
I'm here for you,
understand.
crypto balls.
Yeah.
Wait, so you still believe, Loom?
Well, I literally, when I sold everything at like the high 50s, I told myself, look, what's going to happen is this shit's going to nuke. Suddenly, some GBTC noise is going to come out. Everyone's going to be hyper bearish because of that. And then it will go up. And so I've kind of committed to half of that. So I'm just at this point where it's like, screw it, I'll be spot. And I'll just kind of hold it out. But I'm fairly bullish here.
I like it when you can say well, I'm only in spot, so I'm not actually losing money because I'm not leveraged.
I bought some. So I bought ETH BTC at like 0.55 and sold at 0.6, thinking I was a god, and then it kept going up.
Yeah,
So I'm also kind of
right.
riding the coattails of being able to. No, this was on the bounce like a few weeks ago. So I may just
These
be happy.
BTC
that
price action is pretty weird, isn't it?
It is.
I'm surprised it's not at zero by now, given the state of the USD markets.
Yeah, you would think. It looks kind of just. I got a lot of noise on this chart, but I'll still turn it. It's just kind of classic consolidation, I guess. But on the weekly,
Look, just tell yourself it's a bull flag.
yeah, certainly on the weekly, it doesn't look like it's dying or anything. There's nothing.
No, draw it from 2017 ledger. It's the huge triangle.
If you go all the way here, yeah, sure,
Yeah.
why not? Yeah, it's just a forever consolidation before it inevitably goes to 0.2. It'll break out. I'm very bullish ETH above 0.15.
The thing is with ETH, right? The thing is with ETH, the monetary, the financial, the central planners for the monetary policy have made something that is even more reflexive, right? So the changes they've made with the merge and EIP 1559, if we go into a bear market, it's not going to save us. It's not just going to fucking go up randomly because 1% of the supply is getting burned per year in best case scenario or something. So it remains that in a bear market, it remains a piece of shit. That's what it is. But in a bull market, they've doubled down on the scam, right? In a bull market, gas will go up. In a bull market, even more of the supply is going to start getting burned. So at the point where supply shock starts to happen, they've compounded on that supply shock so that they can just make it go more parabolic. And it going to stakers instead of miners means that it's going to people who are already holding. It's going to like these like strong hands. Maybe they have to sell half of it for tax income or something. But miners operations, they cost more money and not necessarily massive holders all the time. So they've just made something that's going to go, if when you do get a bull market on it, it's just going to rip way harder than it has in the past, because they've turned it into this sort of self-fulfilling prophecy in a way with the like monetary policy design. But in a bear market, it don't matter. Like EIP 1559 and the merge in a bear market is like cope, basically, I think. But in a bull market, it's going to go fucking nuts. So it's like the financial planners were like, we thought we'd have flipped by now. How can we flip without making it like obvious this is like a monetary policy scam? All right, let's do this.
And I'm so happy the flippening talk has like subsided, because that's the one time in crypto where I was genuinely not sure if I was correct or not, because I was super against any form of flippening, because like, it just didn't make sense to me. Like Bitcoin is kind of the central bank, and then all these other coins are just like, little toys and stuff. So it was like, I wouldn't want to live in a world where ETH flipped Bitcoin, because you just don't know what's next. Like, what's going to happen next? I have no fucking clue.
Well, this doesn't give you any comfort, really, because it still looks pretty good relative to Bitcoin. Like, Bitcoin just looks that bad. It could break down.
It depends. It depends. If you have a bull market and ETH doesn't only makes 50% of the previous high, that don't look too good. My opinion is ETH's got more of a future than Bitcoin does, but if it can't even make a new high in a market like this,
relative to
it's
BTC,
not good.
Though,
yeah.
But it went so high last time, 11 cents to $1,400 or whatever.
Yeah. The thing is, now there's USD markets for everything, right? There's a USD market for all your dog shit, all your fucking, I meant dog tokens. I'm using shit to represent the word token. But dog tokens, you've got USD markets for whatever. And you've got these crypto YouTubers, which in a way I guess we are, because you put these things on YouTube after the episode's done.
Yeah,
but,
we're crypto YouTubers. We're just not very good ones.
No one watches us, so it don't matter. But you got all these crypto YouTubers saying this thing's gonna do well, and what they're trying to tell you is going to do well doesn't actually. They're not trying to find something they think is going to do well. They're trying to find something that not many other people are talking about, so they can provide some useful content. Because when you go to the YouTube, you watch a video or you look at the feed or whatever, you want to see something that you don't know, or maybe you've seen once or twice and you go, okay, I want to learn more about that, so they get more views. They're not optimizing to have a good track record. They're optimizing just to boost their view count so they get more money, and they can ask for more allocations in pre-sales or whatever. And they're just telling you to buy some other shit, right? So I kind of not understand the Bitcoin maxi argument that everything should be banned, because imagine how high our bags would have gone if people weren't allowed to buy this useless shit. I kind of get it.
Yeah, I think some of the smarter OGs have said for a long time that Bitcoin's best use case was speculating on altcoins.
Yeah.
Why not? Except for now, you bring up a good problem. The fact that you have these dollar markets on all of them, you don't need Bitcoin as much to speculate on dog tokens, because it's not dog BTC or Doge BTC. Everybody knows Doge's USD price, except for old school, Bitcoin relative traders. They're the only ones that care about that anymore. Everybody else knows it went to 60 cents and down to 20 cents or whatever.
There is a counterpoint to that, though, and that is, so in the 2018 cycle, I can guarantee you way more relatively bad traders had big bags of Bitcoin, because say they bought some random shitcoin and it pumped 100x. It pumped 100x on a Bitcoin pair, so they had to cash out to Bitcoin. While these new all these dog coins, all these other shit, all these other coins, they trade in USD pairs. Traders take their profit in USD pairs. So that step of getting them Bitcoin so they can sell is kind of erased. So it's more of a mixed bag, in my opinion.
Wait, are you saying that's good or bad for Bitcoin?
Probably net good for Bitcoin, considering how high some of this stuff pumps.
But you think people are still dumping back into Bitcoin profits? I just think the Bitcoin relative losses, well, not that they occurred this year. Like, it was a 6-month altcoin cycle, basically. Like, dominance got smoked. But theoretically, when Bitcoin's really strong, like last fall, this was the case. People could feel like they didn't get too wrecked in holding DeFi from September to December because their dollar values might not be that bad. But on a relative basis, they got smoked because Bitcoin ran. And when you're looking at dollar relative pairs, you can kind of miss that outperformance by not being in Bitcoin. And that was very evident when your only trading pairs were in Bitcoin relative trades.
Yeah, maybe that.
But I mean,
like,
they can just chart Bitcoin.
Yeah, but no one does that. Look, they don't even know what they're doing. They're like wondering. A lot of the new participants are going, look, I've got 10,000 Dogecoin, right? How much money will I have if Doge hits $2? That's the kind of question they ask. It's like, bro, you just do the price times the amount you got. What is wrong with you? It's not even hard maths. But like, they don't know how to chart it in Bitcoin, and like they wouldn't even know what that means.
Y'all know the Slum Doge millionaire kid?
Yeah, he's coming on here, so don't diss him.
Okay, well, he was flexing his $12,000 DCA into Doge, and then somebody was like, well, how many total Doge do you have now? And he was like, 4.2 million. It's like, your $12,000 would have bought that 4.2 million Doge in December. Like, do you really think that that can keep you a Doge millionaire? And then somebody was like, that's like 750K. Like, he's already not a millionaire anymore from his Doge. Just so bad.
That is he's just learning the hard way. We all had to do it once.
Yeah. I just feel for him. Like, he won, He won. He could still win. Even at 18 cent Doge or whatever it is today. Could still win. Just got to capitulate.
Yeah. But then he's got like a bunch of it goes on tax as well. How annoying is that? And if you're British like me, you've got to do double conversion, you've got to do tax, and you've got to convert it back to pounds. And the dollar's worth so little that you just like it's all gone. It's like, where the fuck did it all go? What the fuck?
I feel bad for him.
It's not.
Why
can't $1 just equal £1? That'd be easy.
Well, you don't actually want that if you're British, though, do you?
Yeah, I'm like dollar denominated right now.
No, the real bottom is when like the guys in countries like Turkey where the lira has just been plummeting for like years.
Yeah. They
start bragging about how they outperformed Bitcoin. when it's like down in lira, that's when it's just gone rough.
Oh man, I have I'm gonna see if I can find it. Wow, what a chart. Yeah, forever. God, this is up only. Look at this. We're in the wrong market.
Pure pain.
Look at that. Since 2011. That's amazing.
Loom, do you hold that?
So I have a yield generating bank account in Turkey that makes like 8% a year, and it loses like 30% a year in USD value.
That's awesome.
I mean, it's tiny. It's only like a few K, but yeah.
Yeah, I remember.
And this is the inflation Bitcoin stops.
Do you guys remember?
Since everyone's caught up with the US.
Y'all remember One Broker? I wanted to long the USD Lira pair back when it was breaking out from this, and it was like 390, and I was thinking like, oh yeah, maybe it could go to like 4 something, and then it like pulled in Ethereum, like it went to 7. It was amazing. Like, that's a better trade than most altcoins, and it's just regular old Forex. What a beautiful chart. Although it looks like it's going to 0 now. There's 3 red candles in a row, so it's obviously over.
Ledger, do you like spend your time looking at these weird charts?
Yeah, it's really depressing.
Don't you have like a wife and kids?
Yeah, but especially when my youngest was younger and my kids were younger, be like keeping them up at night, holding them, trying to get them to go to sleep. And, you know, you just hold them sleeping. They'd only sleep in your arms. They don't sleep in their bed. So you just sit there on TradingView on your phone for hours and hours every night looking at random charts instead of doing normal things. I don't know what, like.
Are you joking? You robbed yourself of these beautiful moment with your children where they needed you as their father in order to achieve the state of sleep, and you like sat there instead of like watching them and being like, what a beautiful moment, this was created from me, this is my flesh in another person, I'm going to enjoy this moment because they grow up too fast. Instead you were like, fucking hell, Lira's dumping. wonder how Shopify's doing.
Oh, Shopify.
I got liquidated on that as well. Fucking hell.
No.
jeez.
See, Cobie, you know, once they like fall asleep, they're just sitting there and they're like a hot box in your arms. Like these children just emanate heat. So you're just holding them. They're sleeping.
That's a different hotbox to the kind of hotbox I know.
They're sleeping. They're happy. You look at them for like 30 seconds and then you look at your phone for 30 minutes and you look back and they're like, oh, it's exactly the same. They're doing the same thing they were before. They're sleeping in your arm just like they were before. So you just do that. You just look at your phone and then glance at your kid, make sure they're, you know, breathing.
Yeah.
Good.
These days, Ledger's, sometimes I'm on a call with Ledger and Ledger's kid comes in. He's like, Daddy, can we? And Ledger just goes, no! $60 a day! Axie! You need to get those like Axies. I don't know what you're doing, Axie, but he shouts it at him. And then they're like, okay, sorry, Dad. And then his other kid comes in. And he's like, I've done the charts you needed. And then he's like, you got your moving average calibrated wrong. Get out. Don't talk to me. Don't want to see you for another couple of weeks. Don't talk to me until you've 10x this portfolio. And it's like, fucking hell, dude. And then I said to him, like, don't you think they're going to grow up a bit weird if this is how you treat them at age like 3 and 6? And you just said tough love.
Yeah.
Tough love.
They got to learn to trade somehow.
Yeah.
The chat keeps saying they want CL to talk. I think CL might be asleep. Cats sleep 23 hours a day, I heard, so. CL.
Do they actually?
Yeah,
23 hours a day?
There we
That
go.
doesn't seem...
Don't you think that's
23
about
hours
right?
a day don't seem right.
CL, how long do cats sleep every day?
I think you need better ventilation, Ledger.
I need better ventilation?
Yeah, your cat's it's like the canary in the coal mine.
If your cat's sleeping 23 hours a day, your ventilation in your home's not good?
Yeah, maybe like some carbon monoxide.
Yeah, I guess I'll just have to move.
Oh, okay. Then let's move on. The joke wasn't that funny. I get it.
That's okay. I'll move to just make sure. So, Kat, how you doing?
Pretty good.
It's the same thing you said before. Like, we need to know what's going on in your life. What are you investing in? What are you thinking about?
Long some move contracts, and slightly coping because it kind of just tracks BTC price if like not much is going on, which is slightly dripping. So yeah,
Dripping's a weird word, isn't it?
Is that the best example, like the best way to describe what Bitcoin's doing? It's just dripping. we're not up or down or something. We're
Ledger, can you say dripping again?
dripping. What? Am I saying it in a weird way?
Someone in chat might be trolling us, but it says Thorchain hacked, 2,400 ETH stolen.
2,400. That's not very much ETH.
Thorchain, it's bearish Thorchain. No one was using it. There was no ETH there. It's more bearish that there was no money stolen than the fact it was hacked. It was hacked. Oh no! But no one was using it. Fuck it, sell it anyway.
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie. The Thorchain chart. You know, we got our olive branch, so I'm not gonna say anything bad, but it looks not good. It looks like it's dripping. Like that's not bullish, is it?
I mean, when that thing crosses over the green line and the white line, isn't that supposed to be a good thing?
No, that's the wrong way.
Right.
I had a line on here. The it was right here. That was the Ledger olive branch line, and it turned into resistance. It went from support, because I did the olive branch somewhere right here, and it was support, and then it turned into resistance. Now the olive branch line is resistance. It's dumping off of it at $7.
So that's your fault as well.
Yeah. Apparently, I'm to blame for Thorchain going down, or dripping. I'm sorry, it's just dripping. I think it'll be fine.
Dripping sounds kind of gross, I think.
Why not bleeding? I thought bleeding was the standard term.
It was,
Yeah,
but I think dripping sounds like less aggressive, you know? Like if it's just dripping, it's not, you know, like you're not going broke.
It sounds less aggressive, but it sounds like other things, Ledger.
It sounds a bit minging.
A bit what?
It don't sound good. It sounds a bit gross.
You said minging?
Yeah, it sounds a bit minging.
What does that mean?
Don't matter. Don't worry about it.
Is that a British term like nonce?
It is a British term, but it's not like nonce.
It's a different type of British term.
Yeah.
I think minging is like an Essex term.
No, I mean it was like when I was younger. It was used quite a lot in Yorkshire.
Oh, damn.
Okay.
Maybe it's only used in Essex these days. Who knows?
The chat's now using both minging and knots in a sentence together. You're extra British if you can do that.
Can you, Ledger, for the next few episodes, just try and get minging in whenever?
Yeah, I'll have to look up how
cool.
to use it in a sentence. But
No, don't look it up. Don't look it up. Just guess.
Just guess when to say minging.
Yeah. Just guess. Just try and whip it in when you can.
So Loom, you're a bull, but why are you a bull? Like we just looked at a bunch of charts that are pretty ugly. You know, they're dripping or minging or something.
I mean, when the price is down, it's going to be ugly, and when the price is up, it looks good.
It always looks bearish at the bottom, doesn't it?
Yeah. I mean, I just see my secret is I just don't look at the chart.
Just don't look at the chart.
No,
Sometimes that's actually not a bad strategy. If instead of looking at the chart, you only look at the price and you go like, does that price feel high or low? Sometimes that works.
Yeah.
Charts like extra information to trick you.
Yeah, it's just like that's the psychology.
I mean, ask everyone who's tried to trade in the last 2 months if they're up or down.
In 2 months? I'm up in 2 months.
Just in the last 2 months.
Yeah, I'm up in 2 months. I got caught on the big dump in May, but since then I've done pretty well.
I was going to say, I guess the majority would say no, but you've completely.
Well, actually, no, I'm sorry.
It's been fun, guys.
That was the end of May, wasn't it? So it hadn't been a full 2 months to churn through that. You know what I mean?
No, I just meant the chart looks like just not death as it's going to go to zero, but death as in it's a meat grinder.
Yeah, it's definitely a meat grinder, especially people leverage trading Bitcoin in that range. That's pretty difficult. Hey, Thorchain definitely had something happen. Look at this, the 5-minute chart. That's an event. So sorry.
Apparently ETH is $350 on Thorchain. Maybe it's foreshadowing.
Don't say that. They're gonna get upset at us. So they hacked Thorchain and then they sold the ETH on Thorchain. So there's a massive arbitrage. That's bullish Thorchain though, isn't it? Because now you can deposit, or you can deposit USD and go buy cheap ETH on Thorchain. Where the arbitrage.
Is it true there was only $6 million of ETH in Thorchain? I thought Thorchain was a big thing.
Cobie, come on. Don't do this.
What's the Thorchain TVL? Well, it's whatever it was minus 6 million, but
we can look it up. We can look it up. Let's go to DeFi Pulse.
Bro, if your TVL is below $1 billion, it's is your project a joke or what?
I don't know. Don't break the olive branch. Especially while they're down bad. I can't find it. It's not on DeFi Pulse. That guy, He apparently has it out for some projects though, the DeFi Pulse people. So maybe he just didn't put it on there because he doesn't like it.
Yeah, he didn't put Lido on there either. I don't think.
Yeah.
He doesn't like us either.
Yeah, somebody 100K TVL, 101 million. The chat doesn't know.
The
This is the easy trade of the day though, right? You just put money on, you put USDC on Thorchain and go buy that $300 ETH and then hope the hack is fixed.
But I don't know how Thorchain works. Do they like issue a synthetic asset? Is it a zero because the ETH that backs the Thorchain ETH is gone?
No, I don't think it's synthetic, but oh, I see what you're saying. Like the bridge itself. Yeah, like it's like a wrapped version. So the vault that holds it might be messed up. I don't know. We're just fudding a project with no knowledge. This is what we've done this whole show.
Look, I've been on holiday. I don't know what's going on. It's not my fault.
Yeah, we brought CL and Loom to explain it to us, and everything we passed on there, we're like, I don't
Cobie,
know.
you missed the Titan rug.
No, I
fun
saw
one.
that. Wait, I saw the Titan rug. I saw that. We went to Zero and Mark Cuban got wrecked and said we need regulators.
No, here's what we need to talk about. We need to talk about WorldCoin. Cobie, I asked you not to look up what WorldCoin is. I think you should guess what WorldCoin is. Loom and CL, do y'all know what WorldCoin is?
Oh yeah.
I am a fan of WorldCoin.
Okay, good.
I just want to put that out there.
You can be the bull, I can be the bear, and Cobie can guess what it is. So, Cobie, WorldCoin is a venture capital backed project by Sam Altman, who's a like Silicon Valley person.
Why are you the president of Y Combinator?
Yeah, the Y Combinator guy, I believe.
Yeah.
So WorldCoin's a thing. What do you think WorldCoin is, and how does it operate?
All right. Well, I've got to try and ignore WorldCoin from 2013.
Yeah, not the same WorldCoin.
Which, all right, WorldCoin made by VCs, Y Combinator. What VCs?
A16Z, Multicoin, usual suspects.
Okay, A16Z. Well, that doesn't really give me any direction, honestly, because they'll just fund anything. But
They got $2
all right,
billion
WorldCoin. Is WorldCoin a new iteration of Libra? It's like a something that's sort of like doing this like virtue signaling, like we're going to heal the world, we're going to heal the planet, we're going to build financial infrastructure that connects everyone together and bank the unbanked, and it's like a stable coin maybe for like everyone, but like marketed like we're going to save the poor people.
It's not bad. It's not bad. We got to look up the actual mechanics, but here's the best part of the headline. Sam Altman wants to scan your eyeball in exchange for cryptocurrency.
What the fuck?
Read this subhead.
What the fuck?
His startup WorldCoin is developing an orb-shaped device that can read a person's iris. So here's what they do, Cobie.
What?
Yeah. Here's what they do. They walk around with like a basketball, and the basketball has an eye scanner inside it. And you scan your eyeball into the basketball like this. And then you get free tokens called WorldCoin. That's what you get. It's like UBI in a basketball that you carry around. Like there's like people, maybe they'll do it while they're taking the census. You know, they take the census and they're like, please scan your eyeball here. And you get tokens. And of course, it's for the good of the entire world because it's called WorldCoin. I'm sure due to the fact that it's venture backed, there's nothing in it for profiteering whatsoever. It's just for the good of the world.
Wait. Why do they scan your eyeball?
Because they need your eyeball to make sure that you're not double dipping into your tokens that you get for free minus your eyeball payment.
Right.
So they
But, like,
generate the private key from your eyeball, from your iris scan.
But like, right, but if that was, isn't like Apple's Face ID like pretty good?
Yeah, I think so.
So why would you need an eyeball?
I think it's more secure. I don't.
Is it? We're just gonna have loads of people with their eyeball ripped out.
Yeah, that's what I was wondering. It's like, what if you lose your eyeball? Like, this is assuming that you're going to keep your eyeball forever. Like, what's your backup key for your eyeball? Is it like your other eyeball? thumbprint. I don't know.
If it's thumbprint, they should have just started with thumbprint then.
I know. I don't know. I don't know that they figured it out. Apparently, the basketball-shaped orbs. I like it when they call it orbs. It's like that. You remember the Donald Trump thing where they're like all touching the orb in the UAE or somewhere. That's what it makes me think of. And they just carry it around. These are like $5,000 devices, apparently, is what they think it'll take to produce them. So there's a $5,000 orb that you carry around, and you scan your eyeball into it. And then it's like a UBI and ID token.
But
This is his actual face when he thought this up. It's like, this is a great idea. It's the best idea. Let me tell you about it.
oh my god, I'm gonna scan their eyeballs.
Listen.
But like, right, imagine if Ledger, you know, the wallet, not you, if Ledger devices ran on this eyeball technology, right? And then they leaked everyone's home addresses. So they were like, all these people have done the eyeball private keys. They don't need to like break into your house and nick your shit anymore. They just need to take your eye. Yeah. They don't need to be like, where's my wallet? You're like, I don't know. I haven't got it on me. Like, this seems like a really bad idea. But
ooh, there's a new fun bit. Okay, here's a segment from this Bloomberg article. With WorldCoin, the startup promises a new global digital currency that will launch by giving a share to every single person on Earth. The company aims to help economies transition to cryptocurrencies through a novel approach, a dedicated hardware device ensuring both humanness and uniqueness of everybody signing up. So they already thought of the caveat of scamming WorldCoin by signing up your dog. Because you just like scan your dog, and like they get UBI. So now we need like human eyeballs for dogs, or something. There's gonna be a way to scam this, right?
I mean, maybe Face ID like does have faults. Maybe like if you got like someone looks a bit like you, maybe Face ID don't work. But I just don't know why they didn't just use Face ID.
Luke in the chat says poor CL won't be able to get WorldCoin. As a cat, they're discriminating against your ability to get WorldCoin.
Do you think that there's a hidden agenda to, like, maybe he believes everything's going to go to eyeball scanning, and if he gets a massive database of everyone's eyeballs, he'll just be able to get into anyone's house later? Because, like, oh, I got their eyeball from my WorldCoin thing, so it's just like, I can go anywhere.
Yeah, that makes sense. Johnny,
they don't keep the eyeball data. It's like the orb basically takes the data, changes it to something, uses it as the private key, and then just kind of immediately deletes it.
I don't know if I believe that. But Loom, here's another question.
I mean, this is a tech project coming out of Germany. Like they take their data privacy quite seriously.
Loom, can you sign up with both eyeballs? That's what Johnny Two Shoes in the chat asked, which I like that his concern for two, as Johnny Two Shoes. Could you sign up with your left eyeball and then also sign up with your right eyeball?
I have not fully looked into it. So the reason I really like WorldCoin is they're basically, no one else is really trying to go down this path of like actual address uniqueness for identities, where you have some form of trust in the knowing that like one address is actually one person. And like, at least WorldCoin is trying to do something and kind of bringing the conversation to the table, which I think is quite admirable.
Why do they...
Bro, these guys paid $400 million for some juice press. Like, there's way worse stuff they could have spent money on. Do you remember the Juicero?
Oh, yeah, Juicero. I forgot about Juicero. Cobie, have you seen Juicero?
No.
No. Wait, was that the thing that didn't work?
Yeah, it's
like you could squeeze it with your hands and it was easier.
It's a juice squeezing machine. So the whole point of it is just to squeeze a bag of expensive juice, and it didn't work. So like you would be better off just buying a bag of expensive juice and actually squeezing it with your bare hands.
Yeah, so I did know what that was, but only because I saw a website the other day where failed startups were selling NFTs that represented the thing that failed, and that was one of them. And it was like an NFT that said like, what did we fail at and how much money did we raise?
Theranos one should go for a lot.
Yeah, they were on there as well. Yeah, I mean, sure.
So what is the benefit of one of these being like VC backed? You know, that's like what kind of depresses me. Like, let's imagine all of this works.
It's going to cost a lot of money to do this orb shit.
Yeah, but now like the world, like now, you know, A16Z, Multicoin, whoever backed this thing, Sam Altman himself, like they're like, oh yeah, well, you know, UBI is great, WorldCoin is succeeding really well, and you know, team and investor allocation are 40% of WorldCoin. Like, doesn't that kind of make no sense? You know, like doesn't it just eliminate its capacity to actually work?
I don't know. Maybe it's just trying to represent the current economic reality of our world. It's like we're not going to solve inequality while we're doing this. We're just going to move inequality more in our direction. Like they're not saying they're going to, like they're giving people UBI, but they're going to make themselves richer at the same time.
Yeah,
I think that's fair enough. Why not? How would you do it?
Maybe you could like phase out what their take on it is based on like basis points, so like they get a higher percentage of WorldCoin transactions in year one, and then as it's adopted or people are using it, it kind of works its way towards a 0% share for those who are building the product.
I mean, you can do all that stuff decentralized, but you need some form of like uniqueness on addresses to make sure it's not like the same address, the same person just using 50 addresses to like kind of game the system.
Do you think
I think in like 10 years time,
like, do you think the eyeball scanning is a little dystopian for cryptocurrency?
I think the concept of dystopian was it was integrated many years ago, and it's kind of like it's just a superficial thing now where it's like, yeah, here are some actual dystopian measures, but like it's fine. This looks like when they said dystopia in a movie 20 years ago. So it's fine that like we're kind of doing all this other shit, but like we can't scan eyeballs because it looks bad.
Yeah, you know,
I don't know. I think it all depends on the narrative, like everything else, really.
I have to admit, I'm a complete hypocrite in this regard because I thought I was going to miss my flight going to Miami. And some airports, like I'm too lazy to do that like thing where you get on the plane faster. Like you don't have to take off your shoes. You go through like a special line for security. Can't remember what that's called. But there's like this privatized version of it. Yeah, PreCheck's the one I did not do. But there's this one that you can like sign up for because you're late for your flight and you need to skip the line. So you pay like $100 or whatever, and they scan your eyeballs. It's called Clear. So I signed up for Clear in the airport because I thought I was going to miss my plane. So I was like, it may be dystopian, but I'll scan my eyeballs so I don't miss the plane. So I'm a hypocrite in that regard because I just found it convenient to scan my eyeballs instead of standing in the regular line.
Wait, so people are just going around scanning eyeballs in American airports? Like this is a thing that happens?
Yeah, but like in London, you have cameras on every street corner. So what's the difference? And
yeah, but they're not. You don't put your eye to them.
They could. How do you know? Have you seen like what's the clarity of those cameras? Can they just like scan right?
Of course, I've seen, yeah, because it's always on the news where there's some CCTV and it's like, does anyone recognize this man? He's killed 3 people, and then there's like 7. There's a 7 pixel like thing. It's like, is that someone? Like, is that Dad? Is that you? Like, that could be anybody.
It's a CryptoPunk.
That's actually a fun little fact thing. Like, if you want to hide your identity, the only part of your face you really need to cover is your eyes. It's like what you use to identify people. It's a fun little fact. I mean, it is a bear market, guys. We've all had to make do.
If anybody is curious about what you need to do before you rob an institution, what are you actually going to rob though? Like, do banks have any money in them? You know, like, is there anything worth robbing if you need the money? Like a pawn shop, maybe. But then you just have to go
food, water's a good start.
A pawn shop.
Yeah.
Ledger's robbing a pawn shop. That's absolutely
don't rob pawn shops. They're experienced.
What do you? Oh, you mean they know how to protect themselves. You don't need to. Don't rob anything in Alabama though. You'll just get shot. It's a bad idea in Alabama.
All right, so WorldCoin. Can I get some yet? Can I buy it or not?
Loom, do you know? Can you buy WorldCoin?
I don't think it's launched yet.
Okay. But
All
they've
right, so
I
we've just got to wait and scan our eyes.
You can scan your eyes, though. There's 20 prototypes in San Francisco. So if you go to San Francisco and see somebody walking around with an orb, just go up to them and be like, hey, can I scan my eyeballs in that thing? Maybe you can.
No, I mean, like, the thing is, stuff like this happens, and then it kind of gets the ball rolling, and people start thinking about it more. So I think it's cool.
Yeah, like,
You know what? If WorldCoin pumps, yeah, and then people are going to be like, what's the mimetic play? You know, like they always do with everything. There needs to be another eyeball thing. It's like, oh, like, yeah, this one also scans your eyeballs. Like, get into that one quickly.
No,
so maybe we should start an eyeball coin.
This is how it's going to work. It's already out there. It's just the exit pump for Vinny Lingham's Civic, because that's an ID play, right? So he's like introducing orbs by Civic, and we also now scan eyeballs, and then Civic can have an exit pump. That's the follow-on play for WorldCoin. Is freaking Civic.
I forgot he launched that. Do you reckon they're still building out? Maybe.
Yeah, they were selling.
How is Vinny nowadays?
I don't know, he's still
trying to
posting
put in bubble.
He's had me blocked for so long.
Really? You got blocked? He follows me. I don't know why.
Years ago.
Yeah, they were selling Coke machines a couple years ago with Civic. That was like the big, mass adoption event, was buying Coca-Cola through a vending machine powered by Civic.
Was their only profit generating event? 20p a bottle.
Databit said it's Coke machines. That's good.
Lol. All right. So, did anyone see the Save the Kids token?
Yeah, you put this one on
jeez.
there. What is it, Loom? Do you know it? It's YouTube influencers that did some scamming.
Yeah. So, like, maybe we should.
Sorry.
Go on, Loom. I'm gonna find a video while you explain what it is.
I didn't really look into too much. The general gist of it is, these guys have done so many shitcoin pump and dumps that they did what typically most crypto scammers do, the ones that don't leave immediately after the first big hit. Like, these guys get immensely cocky, and they just get more and more kind of flagrant. And like, Save the Kids was just like really bad and dirty. And the thing is, there wasn't even like, they didn't even make much money from it, but like they had gone so used to kind of this scammy stuff that it was just like second nature to them. But obviously the issue is when you kind of promote a coin as being a charity thing and like actually saving kids, and then like the thing is, these guys all use like one or two addresses for everything.
Redistributing wealth to hodlers and charities. Wow.
Yeah. So they basically, there's like this clan called FaZe, and I don't know what it does. Like, they're just YouTuber kids or like gamers or something, and a bunch of these people are from FaZe, and like there's a couple of other YouTubers or something. And yeah, they've done a bunch of shit coins, or they promoted a bunch of coins, and they did the typical like launch dump sort of thing, like pre-sale, people just sold on day one, or whatever. But Save the Kids was like, yeah, it was a charity. It was supposed to somehow pass the money back to the children. And these FaZe kids like promoted it, and then it just like immediately sold off on day one. And CoffeeZilla, this YouTuber, internet detective guy, did like a wallet analysis of like their publicly shared wallets, and they basically all got it from the pre-sale and just immediately sold within the first like 4 hours. Like, market sold absolutely everything.
Why is there like a pre-sale for Saving Kids?
That is a good point.
Well,
It's a good point.
It's a token, and tokens have pre-sales. That's been the topic of this show,
Yeah, so FaZe K got kicked out of FaZe because of it, because he was like maybe the main guy behind it. He'd done like a bunch of them or something. And then he's done an apology video being like, don't worry, I found the person responsible and I'm going to expose them, but don't believe what anyone's saying about me. And that was it. So the saga continues, but basically it was just like K doing these things and dumping them. And he wasn't making that much money. He made like 50K per project or something. It was like, this dude's like got 10 million YouTube subscribers, like got a comfy career, and he's nuked it just to like be made an example of as like an influencer dumping shit coins. Like, Like, it just doesn't seem like a good idea. But I saw my opportunity and I messaged the CEO of FaZe and said, look, can I join FaZe now? Because, like, you've got a spare spot because you just kicked that guy out, yeah? And I'm rich, so I don't need to do any of, like, these, like, I don't need to do save the kids token shit. So you don't need to worry about that. And FaZe Cobie sounds pretty good. So anyway, we're going to have a chat about it. I might be joining FaZe.
Isn't FaZe gigantic? Like, a really large channel or whatever?
Don't matter, so am I.
Yeah, I'm saying.
You know the
like,
funny thing?
Could they just adopt up only?
I'm going to try and get FaZe Cobie. He's called Banks, the guy I'm messaging, I think. Hold on, where is he?
Yeah, Banks is basically the guy that orchestrates all the pump and dumps. But like, they can't kick him out because he is FaZe. Like, his address is linked to all of this shit.
That's incredible. Wait, so the person that kicked out the people is actually the one responsible?
Yeah, it's pretty fucked. I mean, these guys, like, it was just so much easy money to them that, you know how it is.
So they have 9 million
Banks
subscribers.
is pretty bad.
And over 1 billion views on their stuff. So this got out to quite a few people.
Yeah.
It's just...
Loves how since Up only started, Ledger just wants to sell it to the highest bidder.
What? No. I wouldn't do that.
Someone said, Cobie, don't you need to be a gamer to join FaZe? Bro, I'm a League of Legends professional. I've clocked over 2,000 games this season. I'm pretty good. I played in Clash once with Wicked, who used to be in the LEC, and I've made it to Silver 2. So listen, I'm pretty good. CL, aren't you a League player? Aren't you, like, actually good?
Oh no, I used to be. I used to play for my school because there's our school had an esport thing, but.
So you were.
And are you still a virgin or?
Yeah, always. I must protect.
So you were good enough at this game to pay your way through school doing it.
Wait, what?
You were good enough at this game to pay your way through school playing professionally?
No, our school was small, so we weren't that good. But yeah, we had a school team.
Okay, but you didn't make money. It's just like a club.
Oh yeah, of course not. Like, I think you had to be top 3 or something to get some sort of prize. So yeah, we were definitely not top 3. Yeah.
Okay. I don't know how esports works. Like, I need somebody to explain esports monetization to me.
Well, it's just winners make get the prize, right? And then there's some sponsorships and but if no one watches your game, like the ULOL is like the college teams, right? And no one watches it, so there's rarely any sponsorships, I think.
Okay.
It's like basically every major thing that a kid can use to get rich. It's like 2 kids get rich and the other kids is like left in the dust.
Thinking they'll also be able to get rich and do this full time.
Yeah. Much like
And then they leave
OnlyFans.
it. They leave it too long as well because they stick to the dream and they keep grinding. And then they're like, "Holy shit, dude! I'm like 32 now, and I've spent the last 12 years playing a video game. Fuck, what am I gonna do?" But a bunch of those people have done well. They just become streamers. That's what we're all doing now, innit? Well, you guys have got like a avatar thing. You've got a VR character, so
Yeah.
I don't know what you two are doing.
They're a hedge fund. They're eGirl Capital, a reputable hedge fund in the crypto landscape. Now we, however, are just streamers. But that's okay. That's okay.
Holy shit! Have you seen the like Totoro or whatever inspired art of you two together? Loomdart and CL.
All of the art we've had made for us is like freaking amazing. But yeah, that
This
piece
is the
was
best
really
one
good.
I've ever seen. That's really good.
Yeah, Baffy's fucking superb. No, it's pretty amazing when you just wake up and see this stuff.
Wait, where's this one?
Especially when everything else is me photoshopped on like small men.
I put it in the sidebar
I got
ledger.
it. Look at that. That's cute.
Do you think anything is going to come of these? Anything's going to come of this Save the Kids shit?
Like they actually get arrested or something?
Yeah, like disgorgement or any like sort of law enforcement processes.
I don't know. I saw somebody talking recently about that. Like when you consider all the low-hanging fruit out there for some of the scams, and then you look at what actually is being prosecuted, it makes no sense. Like there's some really, really low-hanging fruit. There's another guy, like the millionaire coin. Have you seen that one?
Yeah, so I've seen that because like that's another one of them where basically like in 2017, the only things that SEC seemed to like try and do anything about was like the ones that were promoted by celebrities, right? So there was like the Mayweather one and the Steven Seagal one. Yeah, Centra. Yeah, the Steven Seagal one was just called Bitcoin with like loads of eyes or something. It was like Bitcoin.
Oh, that was so amazing. Their scam was like, hey guys, we believe in decentralization. The coin's yours now, buy.
Yeah, we're leaving the team to decentralize it further. But like there was a bunch of them, and they did the ones that were like actually fraudulent or were promoted by celebrities. There was one where they like claimed to have like Visa partnerships and it was all a lie, and they got done. And there was one that pretended to be backed by diamonds, but there was no diamonds, and they got done. And then there was a bunch of celebrity ones that got like the celebrity got a slap on the wrist and the project got a small 5% raise fine or whatever. But this time around, you've had a bunch of YouTubers who have like way more engaged and impressionable audiences, creating their own thing and selling it directly, and making like basically taking all of like what a lawyer would tell you, and like ignoring all. So like they're making price predictions, they're like promising that it will never drop below a certain price, or they're making it like about a charity or some shit like Save the Kids. And it sort of feels like a regulator's like dream scenario in a way, where you have these people that you can sort of make an example of who are obviously just committing straight securities fraud, at the same time as like it's an actual scam. It's not just like illegal by like the letter of the law or whatever. It's like actually fraudulent too. And they're not doing that. They're just chilling.
They'll do it.
I feel like the regulators are just terrified. Like the thing is, if they go after one of these people, and then the guy's like, "Well, I just made a scam for like freaking tens of millions of dollars. I'm gonna fight this," and then they win. Because the thing is, there's no precedent here. Like everything is so new, and I'll use Tech Lead's coin as an example. Like as far as I know, the only strict promise he said was, I will buy $1 million worth of this coin at $1, so it's pegged. And so you can argue that like everyone who bought into the coin, like he fulfilled his terms. Like there's liquidity at $1 for $1 million worth. And it's like, it's obviously it's a scam to us, but there's no like legal precedent to say why and how it's a scam. It's very tricky. And the thing is, both sides, like the regulators and the crypto guys, both have no idea what the fuck to do. So it's like this really weird hot
what are you supposed to do with this? This guy pinned a tweet saying making $100,000 per day on crypto passive income with YouTube, thumbnail stuff on it. How does this not get from YouTube? Like we get, this coin, this one he made on day one was the most obvious buy of all time. I think it was one of the like, this is the easiest trade ever type buy, because like you basically had to like he said he was going to back it right like 1-to-1 at $1 million. So if you bought it around there, you had a maximum downside, unless he was full scamming, right? And you believe he's going to risk his reputation to just like not do that $1 million thing. But you could see on chain that he put the liquidity in and stuff. So you had a max downside, like you didn't lose all your money. You maybe worse lost 50%. Or 30% or whatever, depending on how high you bought it. And it was very clear he was going to keep trying to pump it and keep doing videos about it, and if it like painted an uptrend, he would be like straight back like hyping it further. I think stuff like that, it's like
when you know that someone else has got a plan, like this shit's a scam. This guy's like, he's got a plan. He wants to take this higher. Sometimes it's just like, all right, I'll get into that slipstream for a little bit. I didn't buy it because I was on all day and I was like, you know what, I'm not going to have time to look at this and I'm not that bothered about it. And liquidity on the start was bad on the token side and stuff. But one of the most obvious buys ever.
I don't even know how do you even do it? It looks it's broken. Like apparently the Uniswap price just went up so high you can't chart it now. Like, how do you look at this? Is this on CoinGecko? Like, what is going on here? There we go. Now you can see it.
I mean, some of those people are not happy about those buys, are they? What the fuck?
Yeah, like what? I don't know. It must be on a different pool or something, but
I do think TechLead posted some tweets that were basically like promising it was going to double by the next day or something like that, which probably not the type of thing you should be saying.
Well, that's like the Hex guy, right? The candelabra guy. He asks us to come on up only all the time. Instead, I'm just showing the chart of Hex going up only, so it's even better probably for them. So, like, what in the world? Like, this is just like BitConnect 2.0 or whatever, and it's just constantly mooned throughout the market. Bull, bear, doesn't matter. Like these.
Yeah, I mean, I would. Yeah, and like, I think a load of the supply is just centralized. Richard owns it all basically, and because it's been going up, it goes up, and the things that perform well when everything else is going down normally get that like reflexive FOMO because there's not many other assets to pour your money into. I would not buy that. Like it. In some ways, he created a really great Ponzi scheme, and Ponzi schemes go up. Like,
he even said that. I have a tweet where I shared like him talking about why Ponzi's go up so well, and he's like, if you just made the best Ponzi like Hex, then it just will go up. And I was like, okay, this is very clearly the biggest scam ever. But it turned out investing in the most obvious Ponzi was the best investment you could have made in the market, which is unfortunate.
Yeah, and then that like brings us back around to when we were talking about Bitcoin earlier, where the market sort of ended up in a state where there's been a few cycles now, and you have sort of a pre-programmed way to play the market, such that in a bull market, alternative assets to Bitcoin perform better than Bitcoin historically. Like everything outperforms Bitcoin. And then in a bear market, the dollar outperforms Bitcoin, and it sort of leads you to the conclusion where you can say, like, what is Bitcoin for? If in a bull market I should be holding other shit, and in a bear market I should be holding other shit. And I think that narrative taking hold is actually quite macro bearish for crypto, because if like the big assets are not like pushing like high market caps and moving further up, then there's less ambition for the smaller ones. I guess there's sort of a ceiling has been put onto stuff. But I think the most bearish thing. Who was that? Was that CL?
No, go ahead. The most bearish thing.
Yeah, I think one of the most bearish things, like in the market at the moment, is that there's all these unlocks coming up and still due to happen, like loads of people on vesting schedules where even now they're like 100x, 1000x, 500x, whatever, ever up. I don't know how much the ICP people are still up on their
I think it was $4 for their sale, like for the
so like
strategic sale. It was cheaper.
I think it was like cents.
Yeah, it was cent for the
like
public
15
sale.
cents.
Yeah, something like I thought it was
sale,
about.
But the I think the strategic sale was in the low dollars, right?
ICP is freaking insane.
Yeah, but that's what I mean. Like you have all these unlocks coming, and everyone's still sat at like huge profit multiples, and they don't like no. It doesn't seem to like people have figured out. Oh my god, that is incredible. That's hilarious.
On Coinbase. This is not what we were promised, right? Part of it
oh my god.
Do you remember when EOS had his public sale though, and it did the same thing like throughout the public sale, and then it just like was a cup and like just went straight up after everybody made fun of it? That's my fear with this. It's like I'm just gonna endlessly make fun of it. It should go down here. Like this is This is the problem on these. Investor break even is like here. You know? So you're down.
Yeah.
You're down 96% if you bought on day one. Congratulations, 94% down. But unfortunately, it can go down another 96% for investors to break even. So
No. Do it like it can go down 50%, then it can go down another 50%, then it can go
Yeah,
down
'cause-
another 50%.
yeah,
Because going
Perpetual
95% down is going 90% down and then losing half its value again.
yeah, that's right. Yeah,
I've heard some crazy stories about ICP. Basically, like everyone who thought their coins were going to be unlocked, so they could like sell. It was just like, oh yeah, no, sorry, our coins are unlocked, but yeah, anyone who isn't the foundation, yeah, sorry guys, see you in 4 years. And this
Yeah.
was all slapped on like after.
well, and the guy.
Like most people didn't know.
So we can FUD it here because we don't care. But the guy behind it.
I care a bit.
Well, but like, it was pretty obvious for the people that were looking at it on chain that you mean you have a bag, Cobie, that's not vested yet.
Yeah.
It's not about expressing truth on the show. It's about the fact that you have a bag that you need to sell.
Yeah, but look, I've spoke about it, so it's fine, isn't it?
Yeah, there you go. So the guy, he was mad because he was like, this is all completely false, but then he didn't actually point to anything about it being false. But you can look on chain and see some of their tokens going away. Like they seem to be clearly selling their tokens, but all these investors, like Loom was saying, like their stuff didn't unlock, so you just sit there and can't do anything. But meanwhile, here you go. Internet Computer is down 96% since it's been listed on Coinbase. Who could ever imagine something called Internet Computer would go down? This was Definity, which Definity I thought was interesting, but I don't know. Like I can't take it seriously when it's called Internet Computer. It's done for me.
Definity was much better name. Definity is a decent name.
Yeah.
Internet Computer
I think
sounds
Definity
terrible.
is a really good name.
Yeah.
Yeah, Internet Computer sounds very bad.
So Loom, are you like sitting there doing this in your chair in order to, get this look going? Like, are you?
I shake a lot. I've done it since I was a kid. Not like meth head shakes, but like just kind of swaying. Yeah, I fidget a lot as well. I probably have something, just never diagnosed. Bit scoochy. I was trying to eat you at one point though. That was fun. It was like.
That's good. Loom, can you give us an update on Y.ats? Do you still own all of them?
Ooh, I've been buying more recently, just kind of repeating ones.
You didn't have enough, so you were like, I'm just going to continue buying almost every Y.at that exists.
No, I mean, people sell to me, so I'm just like, well, either I own it or someone else does.
So it might as well
So
be
it's
you.
like, why not? Yeah, but I understand where the kind of inertia towards Y.ats comes from. Like these things aren't decentralized yet. They were till a few weeks ago, literally just emojis on like a database that you couldn't really do for much. But I mean, the Opera partnership's a really good start and kind of showing where this technology could eventually go. And I think it's just super cool where like they've basically declared ownership of emojis. Like who's going to compete with Y.ats? Like, unless it's like Google or Amazon. Like, I think they're pretty much won.
You think they own the market on emojis?
And the thing is, it's not a market where like you can have multiple competing products.
Why not?
Like because it takes a lot of kind of capital to create something like this.
For like
it's not easy
adoption,
getting
people
partnerships and
saying
stuff.
to use Y.ats for it, yeah.
Yeah, and so it'd be like, well, I mean, I could buy an emoji on your platform, but these guys are so much further ahead. Like, why would I bother? Type thing.
Can y'all actually read emojis? Like, do you look at something and understand it better because it's in emojis rather than, a name? Like, if there's an emoji that represents Cobie versus just the letters that spell out Cobie, like, do you really find that simpler?
No. But I'd be lying if I said it was simpler.
Yeah, like,
but it's simpler to see, like, 3 emojis and be like, okay, that's this Ethereum address.
yeah, like
As
just
opposed to, like,
send me,
OX bloody bloody.
Yeah, but aren't ENS domains simpler to understand? Like if I say, oh yeah, just send me to, send me 0.2 ETH to Top Hat, Dancing Girl, Pizza, Unicorn, Rainbow. Like how do you remember that versus it's, like letterstatus.eth or Cobie.eth or whatever. I don't think Cobie.
I mean, you just choose Y.ats that are like more memorable. So like say Love Monkey King. There's 3 emojis, and that's pretty easy to remember.
Cobie, what
I think the thing is,
you couldn't buy it because Loom already owns it. But what Y.at would you buy?
I made some rude ones, like like with the aubergine or the eggplant and the dripping. I got ones like that.
Oh, so that's what you meant when I was talking about dripping. What it made you think of? Eggplants.
Yeah. Eggplants, yeah. Or aubergine. What is is it aubergine?
What is that? What is that word?
I'd say eggplant. Like it's eggplant.
I'm gonna Google it.
To the guy that said which of the 6 Monkey King emojis would you use? Well, this is the reason that Y.at curates their emojis and only chooses one of the few.
Yeah, you can only have one of the emojis. I was disappointed in that in one regard because I think it was the diamond, right? Like I wanted to be a deck of cards, like the spade, the club, the heart, and the diamond. But the diamond is not like the deck of cards diamond. It's like the diamond, an actual diamond. So sometimes those are a challenge because it can't make you, and it can't enable you to do what you want to do. But overall, I mean, they can be cool. Whether they work or not, I think is the
thing is, it's so easy to get fished with the emojis since it's the way the puny code kind of converts on some services. The puny code is like the code underneath every emoji. Like you can do a lot of weird stuff and scam people basically by saying, hey, this is my emoji address, and it's someone else's.
Now you're flooding your own bags.
It's dangerous. Y.ats prevent that.
Ledger, is Mewn,
Anyways,
Mewn in the lobby?
Is Mewn in the lobby? No.
Yeah.
Maybe they were later and I ignored them. I don't get a sound to tell me when someone's there, so someone has to yell at me to tell me they're there. You know that. I've stuck you in the lobby for 10 minutes before.
Wait, Loom, didn't you say on ENS you can do capital I and then lowercase L to
no
scam
different
people?
than a Twitter handle.
There's issues with text around phishing, but I try focus on the argument I get where people are well, why can't we just use emojis on ENS? And it's yeah, which ones? There's 5,000. No, I think ENS is really cool, by the way.
Yeah, I just wish people would buy my ENS domains that I've made available for sale.
Look, just talk about the ones you want to sell now. You've got a perfect platform. This is where you're supposed to shill your bags. That's what all the people say about you, innit? Because somehow you get more abuse about up only than I do. I don't know how that's possible.
I don't even shill any bags on here.
Well, neither do I. We've had Lido on a couple of times, haven't we? But we intentionally don't do it really. And some I think it's a sign that people haven't watched the show. It's your show talks about your own bags and you say they're only going up, and it's right. So you thought the name's up only, and you just put 2 and 2 together.
Cobie, I'm gonna shill a bag. I'm gonna shill my biggest bag. Buy USDC. It's very, very bullish USDC. Got a lot of that.
Disgusting.
Wait, that's your ENS.
Yeah, what ENS is you trying to sell? What you got? You got out good?
No, I don't have any good ones.
Do you still own Curve.eth?
No, I wish I did. I never had Curve.eth. I
What
did
was it?
look
You had
for
someone...
some of the projects, but no, I don't have any of them. I just want.
I thought you had a good project's name. Who was it? Was it Wi-Fi?
No. Well, see, if I tell you which one I had, it would dox one of my addresses, so I don't want to do that.
Right.
Because I didn't do it structurally.
String puller here, the puppet master.
Yeah, that's where ENS screwed up. Is it's hard. You share an ENS domain, and it's you have to remember where you bought it from, so that it doesn't get all screwed up. But
well, I just looked at zrx.eth, and there's also one there that says ledger.eth and one that says alabama.eth. So I'm guessing that's not
all
you.
on the same one. That's somebody imitating me, surely.
Does anyone know what happened to Keith?
What is that?
Keith was that meth addict guy who was like trading $200 on Binance Live, and he kept getting liquidated, and he was clearly going through some stuff and having troubles, and he was like falling asleep in his chair and shit.
ETH coin.
He made his own coin, didn't he? Maybe we shouldn't put Keith coin on the screen.
No, I'm not looking for it. I'm just connecting Mewn, so I'm putting it back on the Ethereum chart that could go up or down. Hey, while we're getting Mewn in here, do y'all have any comment on, like, is legacy dying, like the legacy stock market? It looks pretty bad too. Like, wouldn't that be pretty bad for crypto?
I've never looked at.
Like, just look at this chart.
I've basically never seen someone beside myself and like two other people ever compare crypto to legacy and not stop talking about it when it turns out there's no correlation in the impact they thought about. Yeah, but I don't mean from this like a permeable, this is it's fine, it's not bearish for crypto, but just in like a general sense thing. Like, I try to think about it like this. So legacy went down 1%. Who's selling their Bitcoin because of that? Like, it's some institution like, oh fuck, the Amazon went from 3,800 to 3,700. I better sell all my Bitcoin. I mean, I try to think of the markets as like clearly as possible, just buyers and sellers, and it just doesn't appeal to me, unless like we get like a COVID-2, which just isn't going to happen. I mean, anything beyond like -4% and Jerome just shits himself and is like, I send it back up. So I don't really know.
I don't know. I think they're.
Hello.
I think. Hey, Mewn, what's up?
Hey, can you guys hear me?
Yeah. If you're not gonna.
Hey, so sorry.
Change the scene.
Yeah, I know. I feel like I'm letting down this anime episode we have going on. Sorry about that.
No, that's fine. Welcome, Mewn. To your point, Loom, I guess I agree with it in a really long-term sense, but I mean, I don't know. I feel like there's these correlations because traders are traders, and there's liquidity issues that they may run into, or they just say, hey, look, that's going down. I'm surely not going to buy this other thing that's also like risk on.
So I think people are kind of shell-shocked from post the COVID dump, where basically a bunch of derivatives traders who made literal bank shorting into the big dump where BitMEX went to like 3K, they kind of tried to force a correlation on derivatives where like every time the SPX dumped, they'd start shorting more Bitcoin, which would obviously make it dump. But they were kind of using their profit from the shorts to put on more shorts every time the price went down. So they kind of forced the correlation. And then we had like this huge pump candle where open interest just got nuked as the price went up like $1,000. And I think that was basically these guys just getting completely liquidated for everything because the correlation stopped after that. So I think like the correlation is caused by people. And if you see people really pushing it, then yeah, there's no reason to fade them. You can fade them when it looks like they've stopped pushing. But it's not like this is a natural market thing. This is what's always going to happen.
Yeah, that makes sense. I don't know. I still feel like those correlations are going to exist. Like if you get a bad dump in legacy, I don't think it's going to be very good for crypto.
Yeah, for sure. But
yeah, but isn't that a little bit because there's a bunch of people that trade trad that also trade crypto, and if they lose a bunch of money, they need to risk off in other places, or if they think they're about to lose a bunch of money, they might risk off the most speculative assets first and like, you know, return to value in a way. And there's people like Keyboard Monkey who trades both, and he just goes, everything looks like it's going to go down, I'll sell everything, fuck it.
I like how the other day you and I were talking to Keyboard Monkey, and I was like, I don't know, I'm looking at some, I bought some puts, and he was like, yeah, it looks good for puts, I'm going to buy some like 2 week out of the money puts, and he sold them on the next daily open. Because it was like, if you're bearish over the course of weeks, but he traded it in like the one session sense. He's such a degenerate. Like, I think he's right on that trade. He just didn't want to hold it. He's just like, I just went in with massive size. Good idea. And then he got wrecked. It's like, thanks, Ledger.
Yeah, I mean, the other correlation is that the denominator is the same and they're just making more of it. So, like, that'll always be correlated in a way, won't it?
Yeah.
If the price isn't.
Like the tapering
Nice.
versus money supply. Yeah. Tapering's a funny word, though, right? Like, because it's like, you know, tapering doesn't mean not printing more money. It just means like slowing how much you're printing. Like, it's going to take a while to get rid of the unemployment payments that are out there, that extra $600 a week for Americans and stuff. So still a lot of printing out there. I don't know.
Yeah, UK's tapering now. UK's tapering a bunch.
Are they really?
Yep.
Moon, how are you doing?
We don't know what we're doing though.
Yeah, I'm good. Sorry, I don't know much about this side of trading, but all I know is like every time I'm on Twitter or like just kind of popping into Discord here and there, it just feels like a ghost town to me. I don't know if it's just something that I'm like noticing on my end, or if it's something that like you guys are noticing, but it just feels like interest at least for like DeFi and on alts has significantly dropped off. I mean, you get like the odd, like, I don't know if you saw like Million Coin, which is just defied, I think, a lot of people's expectations based on a lot of the hate it gets. But in general, I feel like the novelty of DeFi as like a subcategory in crypto and finance I think that novelty has worn off quite a bit. And we're seeing it with like yields, and we're seeing it with just like a massive drop off, I think, in interest for a lot of the new projects coming up. But yeah, I'm not sure if am I the only one noticing this, or have you guys kind of seen that as well?
We don't look at the markets. We just thought crypto was just like a Twitter community.
I think that's what I realize sometimes is when there's something that's gigantic, like this FaZe Clan scam that you were talking about. I never even heard of it. And then all of a sudden
That's because you're old, mate.
Yeah, I guess so. But that's what I'm saying. I'm disconnected. I'm only in like the boomer crypto community of Twitter. Like there's the TikTok crypto community, and they were all early on BSC and, you know, Million Coin and Cobie, you're holding your scissors again. Should we be worried? Yeah, like there's just all these different crypto communities, and we're in like the old boomer one that doesn't know anything, and we're trying to, like, we're bullish on DeFi, but does that mean that the world is interested in DeFi?
Well, isn't Compound going to infinity? Like, what's going on with Compound?
I don't know. It was my best trade while you were gone, though. Like, it just, relative strength wise, is incredible. Like, I think at least earlier it was green today when everything's down.
Oh my god, man, comp. At the peak of bottom, I was like, yeah, I should just all in my net worth into this shitcoin and forget about it, because it just looked so good, like good.
You can't call them shitcoins; they're productive assets.
Wait, didn't it dump to, like, I don't know, like when it was first listed on Coinbase and even lower? So
yeah,
yeah, that looked so good. But.
Yeah, CL and I participated in this trade together, and I got a pretty good run up from it. Played it back up to here, and then bought it again another time. But it's like just stayed really strong. So like I feel like some DeFi looks good, but you know they came out with this 4% interest for anyone thing, and there's no limits or anything like that. So like if you are in the real world and you don't want to deal with DeFi, you can just send money to Compound Labs or Compound, whatever their entity is, and you can earn 4% annually on your dollars, and they do all of the yield farming and crap for you. So the idea, I guess, is that they profit anything beyond 4% that they can earn. And that 4% doesn't sound like anything to us, like if you're looking for iron finance types returns on your under collateralized stables. But you know, if you're going to get like a what is it, the treasury bills that, like, there's some of them that you can get 3% interest on, and you can only do like $10,000 in them, and that's considered like a gold mine for yield on dollars. So like relative to that, it's pretty compelling. So I guess it's been outperforming because people think that it's going to attract a lot of dollars into its ecosystem through that.
Maybe
Yeah,
we get after you, Mewn.
Yeah, I was just gonna say, I think like that CDFI kind of thing that that we hear about is like a really like strong feature to have for a lot of these DeFi protocols. I mean, I think realistically, a lot of retail users aren't going to mess around with DeFi and won't really understand smart contract risk and stuff like that. So kind of giving it over for for custodied entities to do it for you is, I think, a really good thing. I think it's all right to have that dual approach. I mean, you kind of see some like lashback against some companies do that. Like I don't know if you saw like Aave for having like a pro kind of side to its market, and then like a DeFi side was getting castigated for that quite a bit. But I think that's a good thing. I think it's realistic to have like that kind of dual approach to the market.
Yeah, I think it's interesting. I guess CZ tried to do that first with the CDFI thing, but that was less towards professionals and more towards just like centralized exchanges. Whereas Aave's got like pools that are KYC people only, which makes sense to me. And Compounds is kind of an approved customer thing, but then the money is, handled by the Compound entity. I think that's a pretty good way for people that just want to tell their bosses, like, hey, we have exposure to DeFi. This is what we're doing.
Yeah.
Super easy for them to toss $100 million into that rather than go like yield farm themselves. And then they get to say, hey, here we are. To Mark Cuban in the chat, the fake Mark Cuban in the chat, who's the latest guest? It's Mewn, MEWN.
How do you set up a picture? Like, how do I how do I set up what they're doing? I don't know. I'm just looking at Loom's face, kind of glitching out, and it's hilarious.
Don't bother. It's too late. We're going to be off the show before it matters. So you're just in the background. He's in the background for anybody watching, anybody listening. This voice is Mewn. Say hello, Mewn.
Hey, guys.
That's Mewn. There you go. That's how you can tell them apart.
But yeah, I feel like the novelty trade for DeFi is pretty much over. Like we saw a phase in the market where if you were even if you were slightly novel and you're in DeFi, you attracted a ton of liquidity, a ton of market interest. I think that phase may be well and truly behind us. Now it's like separating the wheat from the chaff, and yeah, I think it's gonna be a hard time, I think, for a lot of the newer projects that might have to grind it out a bit before they see some kind of market interest.
There should be some good stuff that comes out of it. Fitris in the chat asks 100 million and something with smart contract risk? Question mark, exclamation point. You really worked in TradFi Ledger? I don't know if Compound is offering some kind of insurance on that or if the depositors are subjected to the smart contract risk, but I imagine it's something that could be insured by whoever's participating.
I think Compound Treasury, so basically you don't put the money into Compound, you put the money into Compound Treasury.
Right.
And then Compound Treasury gives the money to Compound. So I think I'm not 100%, but
maybe Compound themselves have insurance and therefore they're able to kind of guarantee, if you will, with an asterisk.
I love that this is another point in the stream where like no one knows, but we're just like, oh, maybe they've done this. Fuck no. Fuck if I know. Maybe that would be cool.
You imagine that's got to be one of the questions that someone would ask if they're putting money into it, though. So there's got to be at least an answer somewhere. They're not done.
Yeah, I do hope there's like a return to value on most stuff, and all the excess washes out of the assets that are propped up only by I guess like sort of a game of chicken between people that like sharing memes on TikTok or crypto Facebook or wherever they hang out, and there's like a return to stuff that actually is building useful and progressive shit, but I do think there will be a incredibly difficult to trade scenario that produces maximum salt, where random assets or like random asset classes just suddenly outperform others. Like you have this like NFT boom now where like a bunch of NFTs are doing really well, a bunch are not doing anything. So you kind of have to own the right ones. It's not like January, February where like it didn't matter what you owned. Some like NFTs are doing really, really well, like some old things, some new things, and Axies is doing really well, and Sand, I guess, or whatever. But you kind of have to be in the right assets, and there's like a general thematic thing to it, but it's not so like clear cut. And I think there might end up being a bunch of people just chasing pumps around, like going like, fuck, I've missed that one, I need to get into this one. Oh no, shit, I've missed that one, now I bought the top of that one, I need to get into this other thing. Kind of similar to like 2014, where there was just like capital rotations through a bunch of different assets.
That was all through the bear market in 2014, right?
I don't really remember, honestly. I think 2014, I think when Bitcoin got to like 190, it died down a bit because everyone was like, well, if I make 5 Bitcoin or like trading altcoins, what's the point?
Yeah. Yeah, I think it's going to be hard to identify where are those. Like, people can say that Axie's one was obvious in hindsight, but I don't know. I didn't exactly see people screaming from the rooftops ahead of time, you know.
So
even Mark Cuban.
Like,
go on, Loom.
You go first. It sounds like your point's quite concise.
Well, it was just like even Mark Cuban was saying about Axies on our interview with him on this stream, wasn't he? He loves Axies and shit. He was saying.
He did talk about it then. I just didn't take it seriously because they're these goofy-looking blobs of cartoons. No offense.
Yeah, and now look at our stream. Yeah.
God.
I think crypto's at the point now where like even individual projects, like everyone knows crypto is just legit enough where they can kind of commit. Like I don't think Axie would have been possible in like 17, 18, 19, maybe even early 20, but now it's at the point where enough people know crypto is legit where they can like deploy meaningful capital into stuff like this and actually put more kind of legacy evaluation formats into projects. So I don't know. It's a good sign. As depressing as Twitter feeds and stuff may be, crypto is winning, guys.
Have any of you used Uniswap Optimism yet? Uniswap on Optimism.
No. Is there any liquidity on it?
The fee to get into Optimism's like a normal fee, and after that, just zero. Well, basically zero.
Yeah, it's like 0 fee and instant. I think that'll be really good for trading in DeFi. Like, I mean, I've paid a lot of fees over the past year trying to trade on chain as much as I can, and it's extraordinarily expensive. You remember, Cobie, when Sue was talking about on here, like he was like, if you have a $100,000 account, you'll basically spend that in fees over the course of a year. You know, it's pretty brutal.
Yeah. Wait, is their take or fee 0? Or it's still like 30?
We're talking about gas fees.
Yeah, gas fees.
Oh no.
On Optimism, they're like practically 0. You know, instead of say you pay like 15 or $50 trading on chain layer 1 Optimism, you could do it for like 5 cents. So it's practically 0, but the liquidity has to match as well. I imagine, however, that a lot of liquidity will move over there to those interfaces.
Yeah, we'll see.
Right.
But it's just kind of cool. It actually launched.
Oh, like if it's faster and cheap, then wouldn't it be like a club be more preferred, where it's like just order books?
Yeah. Hey, did y'all see the best bubble of 2021 that popped? Do you know what it was? It's friggin' lumber. Did y'all see this?
Oh yeah.
Look at that. That's better than.
Finally a chart that looks worse than Ethereum.
Oh jeez. The lumber and Ethereum traded like
almost
the exact same.
Which means
the thing with these sorry, you go.
No, you please.
The thing with these pumps is like you can make more lumber. It's a supply side thing, but the supply can come in. So what happens is like everyone's like, oh shit, lumber, we need more lumber. So 50% of people are buying up lumber, and 50% of people are trying to find ways to generate more lumber. So it creates like this just super parabolic kind of rise and dump.
Wait, so we got
one
dumped
guy
on,
sells his lumber.
we got dumped on by miners again then. This is just the same. We got fucking lumber miners.
Lumber miners. Temple of Set said ETH is digital lumber.
I got a question because I guess the three of you, are you all VCs? Mewn, are you a eGirl VC as well?
Yeah, I'm part of eGirl.
All right, so like you're all VCs, and I don't know how you are in like terms of like what you've got left to allocate or how you like I don't know if it's prop trading or what. I've got no idea, and that's not the question. But I've noticed that there's sort of like there's a lot of appetite on the VC side. People who still sidelined basically, or they raised massive funds to invest on people's behalf into crypto, but instead of like just buying majors, they're all looking for like Series A's or like pre-Series A's. But the amount of stuff raising is like either reducing or like because of the froth, the quality is decreasing. But everyone's just kind of going, fuck it, we need to put the money somewhere. Are you guys like funding stuff still? Are you finding anything decent? Or are you just like sitting on your hands? What's going on?
Yeah, we're actively digging into I guess small communities and finding interesting projects and builders.
Yeah, I mean, we're still looking. I mean, we're pretty conservative as it is. Like, I think we say no to most and yes to very few. But yeah, we're still like assessing projects and looking into it. I don't think we'd say no to a good opportunity even in these like market conditions.
But are you seeing many of them? Because like I've noticed that like valuations have gone up and project quality have gone down. So it's just like you've got to pay more for like worse shit.
Yeah, I find that kind of weird as well, because I don't think the conditions are conducive to kind of justifying stuff like that. I mean, as I said before, I don't think like just because you're in DeFi anymore and that's like a novel market kind of cuts it like it used to. So yeah, that's strange to me. But yeah, I mean, we do see some kind of come across our table that are quite interesting and we think like add an extra dimension or add something that was missing to the space. Yeah, I think they're still kind of kicking around. It's a lot quieter. It doesn't spread as much as it used to, because I think even Twitter is a bit quieter than it once was.
Well, one of your partners, DeGen Spartan, like left in a hail of bearishness. Cobie, is it just me? But like, I feel like I trust all these avatars more than most of the VC suits that I see in like most venture capital firm. You know, about us.
I don't know that Peter Pan one. I don't trust that.
Everybody but Peter Pan.
Jeff, I'm not sure about Jeff either. I mean, I don't know either of these people, but like Jeff looks like someone that would have been on my MySpace friends list in like 2004 or whatever.
The rest of them look very trustworthy to me, though. Like, I would appreciate following an investment made by these fine folks. They're not going to dump on me, I believe. So y'all invested in Arbitrum. Who's launching on Arbitrum? Like, what's the big app on Arbitrum?
I believe they're talking to like a few projects. So it's not like a launching into like emptiness, right? So, but
yeah, I mean, like
I don't know if I don't know much about like exactly these are launching, and I don't know if that should be said anyways.
Yeah, I think they did a bit of a comms error. I also invested in Arbitrum, so I can talk about it. They're like Uniswap's going to be deployed there. Curve is going to be deployed there. In general, I think that you'll just end up in a scenario where you'll have a few L2s and the majority of stuff's going to be deployed on the majority of the like decent L2s. So I don't think it... Yeah, I don't think it's... Well, I think they'll be on both. Like, you'll have Uniswap on both, you'll have Curve on both, so like, it won't matter.
I didn't invest in Arbitrum. I wanted to, but I was too pleb, and Cobie wouldn't give me any.
But I think that they made a communication error with this like Arbitrum mainnet like date, Arbitrum's open for developers on this date, which actually wasn't a date where like users can use a thing, and like built up a bunch of hype towards this moment. And then the moment was like, all right, developers can now do stuff in private, you still can't use it. And then it was like, oh, so everyone got excited, and then it was like, wait, but nothing actually changes today, practically for us. And then Optimism just like swoops out and is like, you can now use Optimism. You can now use Uniswap and Optimism, by the way. I often think in crypto, like, just do the thing and talk about it afterwards is a far superior strategy than like say we're going to do this on this day, or here's our plan. Whereas when you're in like a traditional startup, often saying here's our plan is exciting because your users are excited, or talking about it is helpful.
Between, though, right? Because like Justin Sun has made billions on the announcement, but the problem with Arbitrum sounds like they actually delivered. So it was like, here is the platform, you can do it now, but we haven't like lined up anyone to do it. So now you have to wait until someone actually shows up and builds it. But if you just announce that it, like in the future, it will be buildable, that's great, right? Like you got to either go one or the other.
Yeah, you got to announce the announcement.
Yeah.
Well, it's interesting because a lot of the smaller projects that don't get like circulated much. I mean, I mostly hear that they're preparing for Arbitrum, not really Optimism. So I'm not sure if there's like a difference in accessibility between.
Yeah, I think it's easier to port to Arbitrum. I think it's like basically
for Arbitrum,
trivial.
you don't have to change anything in your contract. Yeah. It's basically like just like moving from one EVM to another. While Optimism requires like actual curated leading through with one of their devs and stuff.
Yeah, I find it interesting how like I think end of last year. Projects were like, oh, I'm just going to go where the herd goes. And it was like almost like a division. And like there were like a group of projects that were only going to be on Optimism. There were a group of projects that were only going to be on Arbitrum. And everyone else was like, I'm just going to go wherever this protocol that I'm symbiotic with will go because we rely on them and they rely on us. And it became almost like, joining your own like little faction. But now it's changed to, wherever we can port out contracts with very minimal or with less, dev overhead, we'll do it. And so now I think it's, as you said, Cobie, it's projects are just going to plant their flag wherever they can just port their contracts. And I don't think that's restricted to ETH layer 2s as well. I mean, we see SushiSwap planning to deploy on like Moonbeam, which is like an EVM compatible Polkadot parachain.
You kind of have to now, right? Because like if you don't, someone else does and launches their own token. If you don't deploy an Arbitrum, someone's just going to steal your code, deploy an Arbitrum, and launch their own token and be like, "Look, it's just like Alchemix, but on Arbitrum." So fucking hell.
Right. That's exactly right.
You kind of have to defensively.
Well,
I hope it gets quite dirty.
Dirty? What do you mean?
Like, because Arbitrum and Optimism Arbitrum doesn't benefit from anything on Optimism, and Optimism doesn't benefit from anything on Arbitrum. And like a lot is at stake here, because I can't see a world where like liquidity would be that fragmented and it be good for everything overall. So in some messed up way, there needs to be one winner. And I feel like over time, it's going to get a bit more kind of where people realize this.
Or you fix the liquidity.
I mean, there are ways to kind of...
Everything ends up on ZK rollups anyway, doesn't it? They're all going to have to pivot to ZK in the next few years, so...
Well, I think we're going to wrap it up. Cobie's going to ask y'all for some alpha, but one more eGirl question I had was like, is there a category that y'all like for like how to navigate the market, at least being off the top, even if you don't consider it like full bear, the type of categories that you are interested in?
I think we're pretty like open to anything. Do you mean like category of investment or?
Yeah, like DeFi or gaming or what?
Yeah, I think we're pretty much open to anything. I mean, I think at one point we actually did have a gaming startup on our table that we were looking into. We ended up passing, but I think like we invest in like Y.ats, which is NFTs, like identity NFTs.
Oh, we spent a lot of time on Y.ats today.
Yeah. I think that's enough from you, Loom, on Y.ats, right?
Or they asked me. I never started. Sorry, you guys.
Yeah, but I think it's pretty diverse. It's like whatever we think will be used, we'll be interested in.
Stuff that benefits crypto in the long term.
That makes sense. Cobie, you want to lead?
Yeah, and probably things like we can like help more, because because we are like, it's kind of easy for us to like market stuff for anyone, so we have to be kind of careful on like what we support, I guess.
Wait, in what regard? So like if you support something, you think they would just like take advantage of the fact that you backed it, you mean?
Yeah, exactly.
Oh yeah, because like I guess we don't have to like use our follower for exit liquidity, so we can maybe curate something that's like back stuff that are just like slightly better.
Yeah.
On average.
Do you think when people say like 3 arrows like shows a super cycle to create exit liquidity, what do you estimate their IQ to be when people make statements like this? Like, can you give us like a range?
I mean, they could be high IQ and just tilted, or because they followed into the trade. I don't know, because like I feel like there are just like smart people who were like just got wrecked, and they're just but they may be smart and like highly emotional, so they just get like delusioned into like some like, oh, I got scammed by this thesis or this investment or something. I don't know.
Yeah, I always find it quite funny when people say stuff like that, because like I get it if it's like a low market cap thing, or like some like, you know, early market speculative investment and whatever, but when it's like a hedge fund that's been game for like 10 years, it's like, did they really need exit liquidity? Do they like, does it make a difference if like their 100,000 followers, like what percentage of them read them, 25,000 people read the tweet, what percentage of them act on it? Like, does it matter?
What's the net worth for that percentage as well?
Yeah, like they got $500 each, like who cares?
I think people are just angry. People haven't, like, a lot of people are still in like a 2018, 2019 mindset, I think, and they just can't grow out of it. Where it was
Also, it
kind of
wasn't
a bit more every man for himself.
Yeah.
And every man and woman.
I think it depends on what the temperature of the market is at the time, because you remember when who were we? Sue mentioned Woo on our show, and it was like right here before it made this wick up. So I think if the temperature of the market is like risk on, sometimes it can impact price significantly. But if it's risk off, then it just won't matter. And I think that's a good sign actually for what the health of the market is at a given moment.
All right, Ledger, let's wrap it up. Lads, lasses, whatever your pronouns are, thank you for joining us. What is it, like Kitty? Thanks, Kitty.
Kitty,
thanks for joining us.
Planet.
And
thanks for having us. It's been a pleasure.
I don't know what the future guests are because I've been on holiday and I don't know what's going on, but I'll let you know tomorrow. We've got Teen Exec coming as soon as he feels a bit better because he's not very well at the moment. Who else? We had someone that was fun. I was going to announce. Oh well, whatever. I'll just do it on Twitter.
Avi from Block Tower on the way. We've got.
When's OBJ coming on?
OBJ hopefully coming on next week. So there's some good stuff. Light Crypto is a heavily requested guest who will try to.
Oh yeah, Light's coming on. Light's coming on as soon as we can get time because he's in like a weird time zone or something, and he's asleep right now. So we'll get Light on. He wants to do a bearish propaganda episode, so that's going to be fun. And then we need to release some NFTs, Ledger. We need to release the Cup NFTs.
Yeah, Cup only on the way. We're going to leave it there.
Bye, everyone. Nice to be back. See you all soon.
Thanks for joining us.
Bye, everyone.
Pleasure. Thanks, guys.
Go to uponly.tv/blockfolio. Make your first trade there today if you've never done it before. Track your portfolio. Great place to do it. hopefully, eventually the numbers go back up, and it's an exciting thing to look at your portfolio on a daily basis. But until then, you can be depressed on Blockfolio if you see the number go down, or if you're in cash, you can, of course, appreciate the fact that you are ready to buy the dip when you're in a position of strength. You can do that on Blockfolio, uponly.tv/Blockfolio. Thanks so much to them for being our exclusive partners. We'll catch you next time. Have a great one.